Hello, everybody. Welcome to the fan cams. After the Blues lose to the Suns, 11 goals, 874 to 13 goals, 1593. That was really strange. That looked uncompetitive for a big chunk of that game, especially in that third. And then, I don't know, a little something in the fourth quarter. And then it's kind of become a missed opportunity again when you look at some of the shots that were missed even earlier in the game and the opportunities that weren't taken earlier in the game and then late in the game. Yeah, that was weird. But the Blues fall short. We're going to unpack that. I don't know where you all sit with that one. That was that was really weird. If you'd like to join the fan cams, you're most welcome to. This will be a nice long session. We've only got 3 more of these to go. So we will pour a cup of tea. We will go into the early hours of the morning or not. We'll see how we go. Maybe this will be an hour long and we'll be done. I doubt it. But we will see. I am fascinated to get your thoughts on this game and how you watched it and how you absorbed it. So I'm going to get a few people in. If you would like to join the fan cams, the link is in the live chat. I'll keep putting it in the live chat for, throughout the night if you want to come in and share your thoughts. And yeah, let's see what we can come up with. All right, Vince. Hey, mate.
Terry, how are you, mate? I'm the same.
Is it you too? Like,
yeah, I didn't go. I'm not really feeling well. I've had the flu for the past couple of weeks, so stayed at home and watched it. Pretty good first quarter, or pretty good start of the first quarter for the first half, and then for the next 2 and a bit quarters, we just looked. We were outplayed, although the effort was there. I just think we made a lot of mistakes, and probably were outclassed by Gold Coast. And I laid down for most of the game on the couch, was watching it. And I always do the calculations in my head. You get to the end of the third quarter, you look at the difference, and it was 40-odd points. And I went, well, we'd have to better what St Kilda did or do close to that to get close to winning. But I thought, gee, if we can kick a couple quick, if we can at least make it respectable. And then with 10 minutes to go, we were down by, I think it was about 3 goals. And momentum was really on our side. And I thought, shit, could we? And I sat up and the flu disappeared for about 10 minutes. And it was good. The end of it was really good. It sort of, it felt a little bit like Carlton of maybe a couple of years ago. Just that momentum, the constant pushing the ball forward, and there was just like no fear. I don't know. It was just like a completely different Carlton to what we saw in the first 3 quarters. Just a completely different Carlton, and I don't get why that was. I don't understand. We almost pinched it in one quarter.
So, look, the end score, when it's all said and done, will say 74 to 93, and it'll say a 19-point loss. If obviously we all watched the game, it was like a 15 to 20-minute patch in the fourth quarter where you thought, wow. But for the majority of that game, I just thought like the lack of quality or the quality gap was just too wide. And then now I'm left sort of thinking back to some of these things that happened back in the game. I mean, Fogarty missed 2 really gettable shots.
Very gettable shots.
Like he'll be, I don't know if he'll sleep tonight. He'll be thinking about them in bed all night. And then I'm not blaming umpires.
Even Moya missed one from in front. He got the snap in the last quarter and it just went through the points.
Yeah.
There were a few of them that were missed and you thought, well, geez, we get one of those and you get within that 2-goal range and you don't know what can happen because there was still plenty of time. But
then also so there's like the things in our control, those shots, and then I don't know what it looked like on screen. I was there tonight for the most of that. The
I know
fucking
exactly what you're gonna
umpires
say.
were so
Yeah.
involved tonight, like so
Yeah.
involved in the game. Like
I don't get how TDK can get consistently blocked in the center square going for the ruck, and yet they'll pay it against him as too high. I don't get how Harry Mackay can get constantly held in the forward line. Like, the blatant holding him and no free kicks whatsoever. I just do not understand it. And yet Cripps got a 50-meter penalty paid against him.
what was that
in the
for?
third quarter. I've got no idea. There were him and another guy were sort of mucking around with each other, and the Gold Coast player sort of like ducked his head and lunged into Cripps and fell over. And the umpire said free kick 50. I mean, are we actually kidding ourselves here? I just couldn't believe it. And I'm not saying that the umpiring didn't cost us the game.
No.
But it was just very, very frustrating to watch some of those decisions. In saying all of that, apart from some questionable kicking by Hollins, I thought he was pretty good tonight. And have we unearthed one in Evans at his third club? Because he was actually really, really, really good.
Yeah,
really good.
Yeah, you know what's fascinating, like the talk around Harry, and you want to see him dominate in the air. And I watched Frankie Evans start brilliantly. He was good. His work rate was really good, but Frankie Evans, he just found a way. Like he was undersized when on Mac Andrew, found a way to bring the ball to ground.
He took a mark against him.
Yeah, like, mate.
But that's when things started to change. I thought, what the hell's going on? And look, it probably should have been a free kick to him anyway because he was being held. But he was just there. He was. If he didn't get the ball in a contest, he'd work his way into the contest to get it through. And he was just involved in everything in that last quarter. So he got us started at the start of the game, and then really got us started at the end of the game. So I don't know. Maybe he's found form. Maybe this is just his development cycle. He's hit the age now where, it's the right age at the right club at the right time. I don't know, but
look,
we found
at the end
one.
of the day. I mean, I don't know what your mind goes to when you watch games for the rest of this year, but I'm looking for who's going to be part of the squad moving forward. I have no issue with Francis Evans being a part of the squad 2026.
No, it was funny. I don't mean to throw my brother under the bus, my brother Frank.
Yeah.
But he sent myself and Paul Barbazza and Frank are in a little message group thing, and we were messaging each other during the game. And Frank goes, "We're in a bit of trouble." My brother Frank goes, "We're in a bit of trouble if Evans is playing this good." And I said, "Why? Why? Like, what's wrong with him finding form at his third club? That's okay. That's good. He's found form. This might be the way that he goes for the rest of his career. Maybe it just took him this long to get to where he's at. And we've unearthed somebody. Small forward. He kicked 4 goals tonight. He was good. His pressure around the ground was really good. His pressure in the forward line was really good. I thought he was probably, along with Lord, who had 24 possessions.
Yeah. Did he had the job on Anderson tonight, right?
Yeah, and really did well on him.
Mate, he
really did well.
Locked him down and beat him.
And it was not that I really care what the commentators say, because they generally are biased against Carlton. But when we were coming back towards the end, Gary Lyon did say that it was a pretty brave effort for such a young Carlton team. And I thought, well, at least we're getting acknowledged for being young. Because every other team that gets injuries and brings in kids gets that leeway. And it seems like Carlton just don't get that. And we do have a lot of injuries. We've got a lot of young players that are playing, I think it was something like 8 or 9 under 20 games or 25 games or whatever it was. So you've at least got to acknowledge that. And to lose it by 3 goals after being around 50 points down during the third quarter, I'm not buying the crap that people will say that Gold Coast stopped. I don't think they did. They're playing for a top 4 spot. So it's not like these teams now to just, park the handbrake and say, no, we've got it won. When momentum was going for us, they couldn't stop it. And I thought we did pretty well. So in the end, I'm a little bit like you. It's good first quarter, shocking second and third quarters, and then a really good last quarter. Now, if we can sort of bridge that gap between those 2 bad quarters and the 2 good quarters that bookended, if we can shorten that poor performance distance within games,
We'll
be okay.
Yeah,
we'll be okay.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, no, it was good. I'm happy. I'm happy with what I saw at the end. Maybe I'm reading too much into the last quarter, but look.
I think in the end, I mean, I don't know. I think most people that I was talking to were saying, I just want to see them have a fucking crack and take it up to them and challenge the Suns. And in the end, they did. In the end, they did. So fair
They're
play.
just lucky that they had King in the forward line that couldn't miss tonight. He kicked 6 straight. So look, he was probably the difference at the end. And fair play to him. He's a really good player, but
yeah,
what do you do? We did okay. I'm pretty happy. Let's see what we do for the last 2 games. Hopefully we're seeing more out of the kids. Gear up for a big 2026. Voss is the coach still, which really quickly I'll just say something about that, because I probably will say it on our podcast, but I will say now, it's probably not what a lot of people wanted, but I'm happy that we at least had the balls to give this guy take the load off his shoulders and go, no, you're our coach next year. Whether he coaches for the whole year, I don't know, but we've put it to rest. He's the coach for 2026 for the time being, and that's not something that Carlton of old would do. So
look,
whether he's the right coach or not, we at least took a stand and said, this is what we're doing, and I'm proud of the club for doing that.
Yeah, look.
So
they took the pressure off Vossi for the next 3 weeks, and the pressure will come back round 1, 2026. So,
yeah, well, look, I've got no doubt that they probably would have said to him, look, you've got maybe 4 weeks at the start of the year. I mean, if we go 0-4, I don't think he'll hold his job next year, because it'll be just looks like it'll be another wasted season. But
we'll see.
The ball's in his court. So, yeah, we'll see how we go.
Mate, look after yourself. Get healthy.
Yeah, have a good night, mate.
See you, mate. Go Blues, my friend. Michael Voss in the chat. Frankie Evans statue coming soon. He was fucking excellent tonight. He really was. He was brilliant. Robbie.
Hello, mate.
How you doing?
Fucking Frankie Evans was brilliant, wasn't he? I'm so happy for him.
I'm stunned. I knew he was a handy player. I could see that he had some tricks, but he was dominant tonight.
Yeah, I think it's it's a good thing too that it goes to support some of the recruitment staff as well, because obviously they go out, they look, Australia wide, and they've got a scope to look for a small forward. And unfortunately, we got rid of one, and we got one, and everyone just goes, well, we've just got a worse version of it. But he's obviously got talent, and yeah, man, I don't know if it was the hit with May, but I think that's really endeared him to the supporter base, just to go, man, if you do that, mate, we will back you 100%, and he just continued.
Well, so, I think, I think supporters, I don't think it's too hard to please a supporter. Play tough, play the right way, put your head in the hole when you need to. And if anything, it's a bit easier to do it at Carlton, because not many seem to be willing to, go that extra mile. And look, well done to him. I mean, look, we've lost the game, so disappointing. And it was like, I think in the end, I didn't think I'd be saying this was a wasted opportunity, because I just thought we were going to get smashed anyway. But geez, I'm looking back on some of these missed shots and missed opportunities and decisions that went against us, and I don't know. That was a really weird watch for me.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, there's a lot of shoulda, coulda, wouldas. I mean, they miss their fair share as well.
True.
One thing I noticed, I messaged you during the game, and I noticed actually this during Brisbane. The bodies of Gold Coast, when you look at them, some of them are just absolutely the muscle composition of the bodies are just so much more advanced than our guys. And appreciate we've got a few young guys in, but still, even just comparatively, and Brisbane the same thing. So I don't know if there's something that we need to take off into the off season and develop more. But yeah, just the physicality of those guys were just obviously just so much stronger than us.
Oh yeah. I mean, you could see it out there at the ground as well. I was sitting behind the bench tonight. You could definitely see it. I mean, look, at the end of the day, just off the top of my head, while Sharon, Newman, Kerno, as in terms of senior bodies, that's gonna make it look better than what it was. But you know what? I mean, they just had a different confidence about them. The Suns. I was watching us play, and I thought, even some of our senior guys, I thought, like, I can understand if you're going to see mistakes from the kids, but when you see them from the senior guys, it's so weird to me, because I still think that these Carlton players should have confidence in their ability against the Suns. I know that the Suns have had a good year, but gosh, they just find themselves in holes, and even like guys like Adam Sard and Wiedering, some of the holes they find themselves in. Like, I know they're better than what they're showing at times.
Yeah,
and I just, is that just down to the confidence of the entire group, and it's just weighing in on them, and they're just trying to get through? I don't know.
Yeah, I think it's a bit of everything. Yeah, it's a bit of everything. It's this the structural piece is also really important. You see with the Suns, they just they just eventually just know where to go. There's player placements. They know where to kick, and eventually they just get you. But yeah, I thought Hock was really good. Yeah, I mean, he missed that goal. I felt so sorry for him. It would have been awesome. That mark, man. Oh, geez, that was what we've been looking for.
My God. So there's three right there. Fogarty's 2 misses and Hudson's miss. Like,
yeah, it's a killer. But look, you forgive him. He's still in the nursery and still developing. But yeah, look, you got to give them credit. They fought it out. It could have been really bad, especially that whatever the second quarter they started to pile it on. But yeah, they fought it out. You got to give them credit for that. It's a dead rubber for us. There's other than obviously the players playing for themselves. Yeah, that is what it is, man.
And then we'll be back there next week. We've got 2 more games left.
That's it. I'm probably just going to go to the. We'll probably do Port and then watch Essendon on telly.
You won't do the Thursday night to finish the season?
No, it's a hard. Oh, is it school holidays? No.
No,
I don't think so. No, probably not. No,
fair.
Probably not. Yeah.
Well, Robbie, great to hear from you, mate.
Thanks, mate.
Take care.
You too, mate. See you.
Bye. Wildy.
Hey, Terry. How are you, mate?
I am still a little bit confused from tonight. like, do we focus on the last quarter? Do we?
It's a good question, isn't it? Yeah, I mean, probably halfway through this first quarter, all the way up to 3/4 time, it wasn't that great. And then they just flicked the switch at the end. Had some momentum, and yeah, look, it's probably been the story of our last 4 years, hasn't it? In some ways.
Yes.
I think, any tweaks to the game plan, that's going to happen probably over the preseason if they're going to do anything. But I mean, what we saw in that last quarter with momentum and everything, that's the way we want to play, is move the ball quick. And I mean, the difference between the two sides, they were a lot more efficient, more polished at the right moments. We had our chances in the end, but a couple of misses in that last quarter probably halted our momentum a little bit.
Yeah.
Fogarty, I think, missed one. Williams, Moya, I know he kicked one also in the last, but not picking on any players, but those things you got to be precise to win the game. I like that was Francis Evans' best game by far.
Yeah.
And Cooper Lord, wow, what a great. He's done two jobs in the last 2 weeks.
Yeah.
One against Sarong, and he kept him pretty quiet last week, and he had a bit of the ball. And tonight he did a job on the captain, Noah Anderson.
Well, these are two of the, top 10 in the favourite of the Brown. Like, these are
The
Brownlow
Brownlow,
contenders. Yeah.
Yep, that's right, exactly. And he's done a job on them and got possessions himself. And he was important in the last for us. He got a few critical contests, and he's grown immensely, and he's probably grown on me this year more so. Obviously, last year he debuted later in the year, but I thought this year his game's just grown immensely, and I think he's going to be in for another good year next year. He'll have a good preseason. But it was a weird game. Good sort of to see that there was a bit of fight in the dog. But yeah, sort of frustrating to sort of walk away a bit disappointed without the 4 points. But realistically, did we really think we were going to win the game at 3/4 time? Probably not, but probably to make it competitive at least. But we had our chances, didn't we?
Yeah. What did you think of, first of all, when you first saw that De Koning was going to play with Hudson O'Keefe and that Pito was dropped? What was your initial reaction? And then how do you think that went tonight?
I thought I was a little bit surprised. I thought Pito's form's been decent, but clearly it was a matchup. I think they like the way De Koning's played on Wits, so I think they wanted to try that. I thought O'Keefe he looked dangerous on occasions. Took that nice mark and unfortunately couldn't snap it through. But I thought it was okay. I was a bit surprised that they'd made the move, but I thought it was probably to do more with the matchup against Wits, and maybe they might sort of run him around a little bit. But I thought Wits played pretty well overall. TDK tried to get into the game. I think in the last quarter he looked a bit more like what TDK was earlier this year. Not quite the same, but you can tell he was trying. But I mean, look, good to get some games into Hudson O'Keefe.
Does it change the narrative for you as to whether or not he's going to stay? Because I just don't know why. I mean,
So here's my thought on this. I had him gone weeks and weeks, probably months ago, actually. But tonight I was sitting with a couple of mates. We were talking about. I've just got this funny feeling he's going to stick around. I don't know anything. I've just got this feeling that he's going to stay. I don't know where that's coming from. I had the same thing with Voss. I thought we were going to stick with him, and that was about 2 or 3 weeks ago. There was just something about, even though the media was sort of going on about it. This one might surprise us. I'm not sure, but I could be wrong.
I mean, I thought Voss was gone for sure as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know.
Look, it'll be interesting. I mean, look, if he gets that form back that he had early in the year and even last year, I mean, he's an asset, isn't he?
He is. I mean, he's a quality player. He can be a quality player look, he is a quality player and he's got scope to grow more than what he already is.
I think so. And look, would I be disappointed he left? Probably not, because if he's getting what he's allegedly getting paid, you wouldn't blame him. But then where does that leave us with a first-round pick?
Oh, yeah, true.
I mean, that's the gamble they took last year on Jagger, right? So now they might make some other moves, but we'll wait and see. That's all for the off season, I guess, but won't speculate too much on that. But yeah, it'll be interesting to the very least. And then we'll just have to see with the father-son rule whether there'll be any changes to that. That's going to be interesting because there's talk that they might change that. So
yeah, 2 more weeks, mate. Two more games.
Yep, one more home game, and then the last one at the G against the arch enemy on a Thursday night.
Yep.
We'll see how we go.
Bring it on, I say.
Yeah. Let's finish the year and let's see what the other changes are, if there are any. I mean, we don't know. Who knows what they're going to do, but we'll wait in anticipation.
Yeah. Good to hear from you, my friend. Thanks for calling in.
Take care, buddy.
See ya.
Go Baggers. See ya.
Go Baggers. All right. We have a blue abroad. His name is Ben, and he's calling in from Brooklyn.
Hey, how's it going? Terry, good to see you.
How are you?
I'm doing good, man. Almost as good as a win, but still, that was a good one.
Did you believe?
I definitely did. I mean, it looked like 23 for a second, like where they just decided, nah, we're not giving up this time. We're gonna put everything we had out there, and I think we did. And the lack of experience, and I feel like if we had even just Charlie out there, I think we probably would have had that game. Just one more tall marking target who can kick a goal.
Yeah, and in form and healthy. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Did you stay for the whole thing this time?
No, I did not. No, I did not. I went there, no expectations. And then, to be honest, halfway through the third quarter, I felt that it was just getting really uncompetitive. And it was like, the worst case scenario I thought was starting to unfold, and it would become, I mean, I think it was 48 at one point, 45 points at 3/4 time. And I thought, this is just going to get worse. So, no, I didn't. And then I'm watching on my phone, I'm thinking, all right, I'm never doing that again.
Did you believe? Was there a moment? 12 down? No? Okay.
No, I must say, no, I didn't. Yeah.
But
look, ultimately, it was good to see some signs, and I think that's what we're looking for at this point.
Yes. I just want to see them trying. I want to see them setting an example for the younger kids. Like that's what I'm looking for now this year. I don't, I expect to win against Essendon, and that's not saying a lot, but hey, it'll be one more.
Yeah, absolutely, mate. What's happening around you? I can hear a lot of background noise.
The subway, the train's right there. Just sitting on a stoop, enjoying a coffee. It's 9 a.m, and the weather's beautiful. Summer, can't beat it.
Mate, how good?
Yeah.
Any other themes from tonight this morning for you that stand out?
I thought the senior players stood up better than I've seen them do all year as a group. I felt, except for that one hand pass from Saad, I really thought that he was as competitive as I've seen him be this year. I felt like Cripps was really going after it. George is always in there. Akers was solid. That impressed me. That made me feel better. Maybe that's the surety of knowing that Voss will be there next year, and that these guys are actually now playing for their jobs. They don't just get to boot a coach and coast. And I'm not trying to say that I think that's their mentality, but that's certainly a possibility.
Yeah, fair.
Yeah.
What's on for the rest of your day?
I got to go to work, and then I don't know what's after that. Maybe we'll go out or something. But just enjoying the weather, enjoying the turnaround in fortunes. Maybe like the number of people we've got to look forward to is really immense, and just hey, it'll be a good one.
I hope so, mate. I hope so.
Yeah.
Hopefully a great off season for us all, and recharge and go again.
Yep. Cool. Thank you so much, Terry. Good talking.
Ben, see you, man.
Take care. Cheers.
Ben from Brooklyn. So cool. It's like 9 a.m. All right. Now we're going to go to WA. We've got David.
Hey, Terry.
How you doing?
I'm coming on after Sesame Street. That brought me back to my childhood. That scene with the it was strange. I must say, I have a tea here. It's a blue tea. It's not your blue tea, but it's a blue tea. So I'm sipping it here, buddy, just for you.
Yes, mate.
I did enjoy the game tonight. I thought we would come back flat after a trip to WA. So I was really impressed that our work ethic was up there, and the team looked like they were really engaged. And so that was a really good thing, I thought. There's been so much, how do you say, with our fan base? They're not disappointed in our efforts, but they've been frustrated that we've not been giving it a go. Whereas I think the last week and this week, we definitely have shown that we have done that. You've shown that a guy like Jesse Motlop, who's been the whipping boy for many people, you could see how he put in so much effort tonight. He might not have had the results on the scoreboard, but you could see how much effort he put in. And I've been, critical of Francis Evans as much as anyone. But the last 2 weeks, he's been amazing what he's put in. So you've seen the engagement of the players, and I think that's been astounding. Someone like Ollie Hollins has always been great, and Cooper Lord. All these young kids, I think we've been crying out for so long to give these kids a go. And now that we've given them a chance, I think we're regretting that we haven't given players like Lemmy and I thought Billy Wilson, for all these, he didn't have a great game, but we should have probably have gone ahead of our time and given these kids more of a chance earlier on. So I think I applaud. I mean O'Keefe tonight, he was never going to be the game changer, but you could see that he's a future for us. So I think we need to invest in these kids and give them a chance and keep on working on them and look to the future, because we're not going to win a premiership this year or maybe next year, but we need to start having a better plan. So I'm happy that the club has invested and is looking and solidified Voss in the position he is. And now we need to start really looking forward to what is the next step ahead. So I thought it was a great night, to be honest with you. I thought, we didn't expect to win, so we needed to take what we could get out of it. And I thought there was plenty of positives there.
Yeah. Look, I think it was 7 players under 25 that they were talking about. So you expose these 7 players under 25 games to the level. You see who, maybe 2 or 3 of them can stick it at the level. You give them some continuity. You put the preseason into them. Then you add the senior players that aren't available because they're injured. Then you add whatever recruits we're going to get in the off season. Like, you got to replace Doc already. There's one. There's going to be a couple more that are out of contract that probably need replacing as well. And there may even be a contracted player here or there that might be replaced. So, yeah, hopefully once the squad's fit and healthy, but it's certainly now with who's going to coach the club, for the next year at least, or for the start of next year at least.
I'm not sure about that. I still think if we have 3 bad losses, I don't think anything's written in stone. I think the club still has the mechanisms in there they could still change. I mean, if we get flogged by Essendon, I wouldn't be surprised if all of a sudden they made a rash decision and decided to go.
Oh, you reckon? Do you think there's even? Do you think after what happened this week, there's still a chance that Voss doesn't start coaching from next year?
I think our club is very good at smoke screens and minimising the bad press. So they are the first group that would possibly try to minimise the the media throng that's around us at the moment. So I wouldn't say that, and especially the way they word it, saying that he is installed into the next year. I wouldn't say they would possibly turn on that. Our club is ruthless and they want success. So, and especially with the change of direction with CEOs, I applaud that they are backing the coach, but at the same time, to me, it's sometimes, I mean, they put on a lot.
Now, see, I think if they had lost badly tonight and lost badly next week and lost badly against the Bombers, I can see what you're saying, but I just
look at Melbourne. They won by 85 points and replaced their coach. I don't think
he's coaching round 1. He's coaching round 1.
Yeah, we'll wait and see. As I said, if we lose to Essendon, I think that would be a big test of the board, and there are big changes ahead of us. We know that, and it will be, I guess, a test of the club and the board as well, to see how will they step back if we do have a loss against Essendon, because I think that will divide a lot of the supporter base. But it's a good sign that this is not the way we do things, and it is good that they are solidified at the moment. But at the moment, I still want to focus on the week to week, and it's good that they've deflected the issue off, because I think the players needed that, and I think the players that are on the field, need to have that support, that they just they've got their job to do, and tonight was a good reflection on the players that were there, and what they did tonight, I think was quite good. We didn't get the win, but that's the way it is. So I think I don't think many players or coaches or supporters would be disappointed with our efforts in the last 2 weeks. I think we've gone out there and really put in, which was what we all wanted. Yeah.
Show some spirit, show some pride. I think they showed it late, but they showed it nonetheless. Just to give those who are watching, whether you're at the game or whether you're watching from home, just to give you some sort of a spark of something. We got that.
Can I also just say, I hope all the supporters get on to the AFLW during the week. They get their first game on. As much as we are focused on the men's game, get behind the girls as well. They're starting their campaign, and we know they've been going through their times as well. There's been injuries and struggles as well, but good luck to them for their season ahead.
Yep. Thursday night, Carlton Collingwood.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, heads around.
Yeah. David, great to chat, mate.
Thanks, mate.
See ya.
Cheers.
Travis.
How are we, Terry?
Mate, we are. I think we're starting to settle into what that game was, and the acceptance of what happened is starting to kick in. It was, I got to say, from that final siren sound, it was just weird. It was just a weird experience.
I tell you what, I've often described Carlton as being just that, Jekyll and Hyde. They're completely Jekyll and Hyde, and it's all in one match, and it's often throughout a season. You just see two completely different sides, and it would be at any 2 quarters. Often this year will be the first and the last. You'll see a club that's, showing promising signs, and you see like so many young players, just showing something really good in that, and senior players standing up. And then there's just those, especially like the third quarters, like coming out of half time this year, they just look like lethargic, and they just look like completely shy, and and contain, and they're just like, we don't want any pressure at all, any tackling pressure. We'll just bomb the ball down the line and just let someone else deal with it. Yeah, it's just a strange situation with this team. You don't know how to read into them just yet, which is why like I do have faith in the likes of Wright and haven't made the decision to keep Voss. I know I was one of the initial critics of keeping Voss around, but I like the move. It's very un-Carlton like, of the modern day like Carlton, because they've always been rather rash with their decisions. They'll just jump straight to, like, it was a case with Ratton, it was a case with Malthouse, it was maybe the case with Teague. Probably a similar situation would have been with Bolton. I think like this has got a bit of Bolton to it. Like coming off our very worst season in the club's history, like 2 wins, 20 losses, and that. Like they decided to keep him around through to 2019. We only managed to get like 1 win out of the first 10 games, and then he was out the door. The same thing could happen with Voss, but we've been hearing a lot about Hardwick and then Bomber Thompson and that. We don't know how to read into it. We don't. We've just got to wait and see how it plays out next year. Yeah. But tonight, maybe it could head in a good direction, especially with the younger players like Cooper Lord. I will admit he was kind of teetering towards the middle of the year, but these past 2-3 games where he's been given a role to run with another player, especially these senior players and that, he's been holding on his own. Like he's been doing very well. And he's only going to get better from there. Like it's just incredible. I've loved to see him develop in that. And yeah, I will admit I was one of the people that did criticize Francis Evans, and I was like, oh, why did we bring him in? A third club player. But you know what? Yeah, I learned to give him time. And this was his coming of age game. This was his coming of age. He just done things I never thought he had in him. Just like outmarking Andrew and like kicking 3 or 4 goals, and the way he instigated some of those passages of play in the fourth quarter, that was freakish.
Do you watch that performance and the way he's performed over the last few weeks, or maybe over the whole season, whatever you've seen? Have you seen enough from someone like Francis Evans to say, keep him in the squad, keep him on the list for a year or whatever?
Well, yeah, I'd say there's something to work with there. I know it's very difficult because you get these situations where players can have a poor patch of form, and there's just 1 or 2 games here and there where they just play freakishly good. Like this is nothing to expect Evans to do week in, week out. He's not going to kick bags of goals and, look like the best player on the ground for us. That is the case, obviously, because we all know Real was running rampant. But yeah, but it's never going to happen week in, week out. But it's still something to work with. And I reckon for a player like Evans, who I know for a fact he's wanting to give it his all. He's wanting to give his best effort. That's the kind of play you do take with you into the next season and that. And there's many others there as well, especially young players, because they're just wanting to get out there and play the in the big time and amongst the big crowds and in the big games and that. Of course, they're going to always give their all, and Evans is certainly one of them. And yes, even Hollands, like Ollie Hollands, I will admit I am a fan of the guy. I'm a fan of Ollie. I am. And he did somewhat well tonight. He had a good presence. He managed to find the ball and that, but I will critique him on one thing. It's not so much on him. It's not so much his fault or doing in that. I think defense position is not his. I don't think he's a halfback I don't want to really see him take kick-ins. I don't think we're playing him to his strengths. He's a two-way runner. His best work is along the wing where he runs back and forth. He needs the space. We need to help generate the space for him. Him taking the kick-ins and piling the pressure to hit a target and that, because there's been a couple, 3 or 4 times tonight where I'm like, yeah, it got a little bit frustrating, but yeah, I still have faith in Ollie Hollands, and he's played good. He's been he's been involved in one of our more famous bits of play in the past 2 years. There's still some.
He's definitely shown growth in his his capacity, his ball use. Bless him, he tries so hard, but geez, if he can just clean it up a preseason, focusing on his kicking.
Even Gary Lyon mentioned that. He come out towards the end and said, "Look, the coaches need to get into Ollie and say, look, come preseason, there's not going to be one moment when the ball is not in your hands and you're not practicing your kicking in your drills and that." I'm a fan of Ollie, and I will stick by him. I believe he has a place with us moving forward. Definitely 100%. They see something in him, and if they see something in him, I see something in him, and he's got that ability. He's got the endurance. He's got the run. He's got the grit. We've seen him charge into contests and create intercepts and that. He just needs to do the finishing off and just be able to hit a target. And I think to do that, it's more so the rest of his teammates and the positional change. Keep him towards the wing where he's got space around him. Don't try and get him to do the kick-ins. I don't think that's to his strengths.
Fair.
But yeah, overall tonight was subpar, and it was strange. But yeah, 2 more weeks. 2 more weeks.
Good stuff, mate. Thanks for calling in.
No worries. Take care, Terry.
See you, mate. All righty. Rocket. Hello, mate.
Hello, Terry. How are you, mate?
I'm good. Yourself?
Not too bad. Just got back from the game.
What did you think?
It felt like most of the games this year, to be honest. It was an interesting week for the club. When obviously the Goodwin situation happened, and then there was a bit of noise for 24 hours, and then the Carlton board was meeting, and what were we going to do? And, I'd probably been in the camp that I felt like we probably needed a change, if I'm honest. And when the decision landed that we were going to stick with Voss, I actually felt like it was the right call. It landed well, and the truisms are truisms, and it felt like it felt, to me anyway. It was like, okay, all right, good, and it felt like we carried a bit of momentum into this week, to be honest. So I was really interested to see what we brought tonight. And how we were going to respond to that. And I think probably the most disappointing thing was that it was so similar to everything that we brought this year, in terms of particularly that third quarter, to come out after half time with no energy. It was quiet. They kicked 2 goals before you could hear the Carlton fans, and and by the end of that third quarter, there was just no energy in us or them. And then, to bring it in the last quarter, and they bring the noise, they bring the effort, and the crowd gets involved, and it's just like, wow, well, there's an opportunity missed, isn't it?
Yeah.
But I was disappointed. I wonder what these coaches, I really hope that we do get some experienced coaching around Bossy for next year, and I really do hope that we change up our assistant coaches, at least parts of them. I don't know, who's good and who's bad. I don't know the inner workings of who's getting good responses out of those players and so forth. But so much of it is the same. And, I just wonder what goes on at halftime with those guys. I mean, when we don't bring the noise in the third quarter all year, surely those line coaches, when they're sitting down with those 6 to 8 guys, they're saying, guys, we are going to whatever happens, nothing else matters. but we are bringing the noise. We are smashing those guys. As soon as they touch the ball, we are smashing them, right? Like, and it almost feels like it's the opposite. And it's every freaking week, Tez. You know,
Yeah.
it's so frustrating. And look, you know, Lockie Fogarty missing those 2 goals from 20 to 25 metres out directly in front when you are a small forward who is a professional footballer. I don't know what he's on, you know, 400, 500. Like, I don't know what he's on, but like, he's paid for those 2 weeks, for those 2 hours a week. And his job, you know, like, bring the noise, bring pressure, but absolutely kick goals from 25 metres directly in front. Like, that is his job. And hit that miss in the second quarter sucked the life out of us. And, beginning of the third, and then again in the fourth when we had that run on. And I'm sorry, like, you have to, like, it's not good enough. Like,
Do you think in the off season the priority? I mean, there's a lot of priorities, but is it really as simple as get your fundamentals on point in this off season, guys? Like, you have to do the extras and fix your fundamentals. Like, I can't believe I'm actually saying that. We're talking about professional footballers, but it just the simple errors, or maybe they seem simple from this side of the fence. But the trouble that the Carlton players put themselves under because of what look like simple skill execution errors.
kills us. It
Like, we can
kills
talk
us.
about game plan and ball movement. We can talk about ball movement and the strategy, like, sure. But whatever strategy you've got in place falls apart if your fundamentals are just, not there.
Yeah, and their standards, right? They're player standards. Their coaching standards 100%, but they're also player standards. You know, I mean, and you know, like, there's small forwards at local leagues around the state that are not missing those. You know, so that was really disappointing. At the same time, you've got Frankie. You know, the ball popped off his boot from 55 and from 50 and went straight through the middle, right? And you know, he looked like another player tonight. And you know, I heard your question to the previous caller. Like, you know, do you think you know, is he somebody that you invest in for next year? And like, off tonight, absolutely. But you know, really off the last, you know, the body of work of this year, probably not, right? So if you've got that in your locker, you know, I know we picked him up from Port Adelaide last year after he went goalless in 3 finals, you know. So it's on Frankie. You know, if you've got that in your locker, mate, all right, let's go to work this off season. And I do think off the back of that, you'd give him another year. But you'd want to see it. It was really impressive tonight. He played an amazing game. He looked really good. And you know, Fogarty wasn't terrible, but those 2 misses were terrible, and that sucked the life out of our game.
Yeah.
You know, at 2 very critical points, you can't do it. So, yeah, look, I was disappointed off the back of the announcements this week, and you know, where we were for next year, for it to be so much of the same, particularly in that third quarter. Like, effort is non-negotiable, and we say it every week. But like, you know, Harry Mackay in that third quarter, it was about the 5-minute mark. He went up for a contest with like one hand going 3 quarters. You know, you're a Coleman medalist, mate. You know, you're on $1 million a year. Like, you should be charging at the ball with your hands out in front and like showing the way for your younger players, right? We don't have that many senior players out there in your position. Like, bring the noise, Harry. Like, jump at the ball. You've done it in the past. You can do it now. That was disappointing. I thought Zach Williams, until the last quarter, was really disappointing just in terms of the effort. And, you know, you got to set standards, guys, for yourself, but also for the example that you set for your younger teammates. And there were a lot of younger teammates out there today. And I saw Cripper trying, and I've said this before, but, you know, we need leaders that are going to set standards and requirements. And so much of this year just now feels like we're just going through the motions, truly.
Yeah.
And we are. The entire fan base has had the soul sucked out of it. It's 25,000 there tonight and so forth. And, we were enjoying it and it was a bit of a laugh, but disappointing, isn't it? Anyway, let's see. It's going to be an interesting off season. It's going to be a different looking Carlton Football Club, I think, in round one.
I'm just hoping that what we're seeing in the last 6 to 8 weeks of 2025, with the kids that are playing, I hope that we look back on this last part of this year as something that helped us in 2026, getting the games into, Moya, these types, Lord, and,
You would have said the same thing this time last year, mate, when we were decimated by injury and, we finally saw the Moyas come in for the first time and so forth. And then what we saw this year was us sticking fat with the same senior crew and like bringing in kids for a minute, So I look at Billy Wilson. He wasn't great tonight, but that kid, if I was him, I'd be shot on confidence when it came to the Carlton Football Club because he's been in for a week and then he's out. In for a week and then he's out. How many games has he played? Was that his third game for us?
Might have been his second or third, yeah.
Second. He's been good enough in the VFL to get more opportunities than that. And, selection integrity is a big part of what made me doubt in Michael Voss. And I hope that next year, we are prepared. I think we actually look better in some ways, having some kids running around on the edges, and they weren't great tonight. But Gold Coast are not the worst team in the world, to be honest. They've got a very strong midfield. They've got weapons up forward and down back. They're a good sized team, and they're up and about right now. Like they're
a final
probably
team.
going to finish top 4, right?
Look, they're a chance, especially with Brisbane slipping up today.
Yeah, and they've got the extra game. They're on the door of the top 4 right now. Like, they're a good chance to finish top 4 or just outside it.
Yep.
Are they much better than us? Like you just look at it and you just go, Jesus H.
Look, I was going through some photos earlier today, and I know he didn't play, so like whatever. But we miss Sam Walsh. We miss that. We miss Sam Walsh. I don't care what anyone says. Like that running, the power running. We miss our runners. We miss Cottrell. We miss Walsh. I know Elijah. I don't even know what the future holds for Elijah. He's playing tomorrow in the VFL, but we miss him. Yeah, we miss their running power.
And you can't help but just see Jagger at training and just go, you're going to be a very handy little player to have in the mix.
So, anyway, Rocket, you're a star. Thanks for calling in, my friend.
Thank you, Terry, and good on you, mate. Thanks for all. Take care.
Go Blues, mate. See ya. All right, let's go to Adelaide. We've got Andy. Hello, sir.
Good evening, Tez.
What did you think of round 22?
All right, where do we begin? I won't start off on a negative because it'll just upset the rest of my commentary on tonight's game. But we'll go positives first. So I think, we've mentioned Cooper Lord had a cracker. Frankie Evans, like I've not been a fan of him, but, he was literally our best on ground tonight. Just played with a lot of heart, played with a lot of ferociousness. He tackled, he led up at the ball, he marked it. And when he needed to kick the goals, he just kicked them. So it's like, I don't want to get carried away because he's been, like most of our players this year, he's been pretty ordinary. But the last few games that he's played, he's just done the fundamentals right. You talk about fundamentals, Terry, when you're, 30 metres out directly in front, just kick the goal. You're kicking all day, every day, just kick the goal. So
He's in his head.
What's
in his head, Fogarty, and it's not the first time he's missed those exact shots this year as well. He's in his head about it.
He's never been a confident set shot kicker in his career, but what he's lacked in set shot kicking, he's brought with tackling and forward pressure, and it's created goals. And there was a thing, you know, in 2022, 2023, that when he played, we won. And he was my boy back then. And I'm just like, couldn't say enough good things about him. But this year, he's been horrendous. Like, and, you know, since we lost Owies, he's always been that one that can get those cheap marks up front, because who would play on him? Everyone just lets him go. And then tonight, when we need it the most, you know, like that second set shot where he went to snap, he hit the belly of the ball. He didn't look like hitting it. And you can see it in his face. He's like, I don't want to kick this goal. Like, I don't want the responsibility. And that's a real problem for our forward line when that's his job to do that. So I was really not happy with his game at all tonight. I thought, you know, Will White barely touched the ball, but Fogarty should have been made an example of almost, you know, get him off. If you can't kick goals like that, get off the field. So,
question: how are you watching Jacob Wiedering's game tonight?
well, I'm glad you asked. So this was the second week in a row where they're playing Nick Haynes on the wing. Did you notice that?
Yeah, in the first quarter in particular, definitely. Yeah.
And then in the last quarter, we brought him back to sort of, you know, secure up that defense. He looks all at sea, because he's trying to cover two guys. He hasn't got his wingman in Haynes there. We've obviously lost Sauce to injury, and he just doesn't know when to go, when to stay. So he's literally got, you know, he's almost like back to 2021 where can't remember when it was when Liam Jones left, but he's almost like can't organise them. So you've got Cowan, Carroll, Sard, and Lewis Young back there, and he's like, shit, what do I do? So yeah, it was a really strange tactic to play Haynes on the wing again. I thought after King kicked 3 in the first, you'd probably would have made that change, but I don't know. They're trying things. It's a really strange thing to try. It sort of worked against Freo last week, but this week it just did not look good. So, what else did I see tonight? Hudson O'Keefe just looked so good against Witts in the ruck. Like, every time he went up again against him, we got the ball forward. We got the ball clean. He tapped it to our mid's advantage. And every time TDK spent a lot of time on him, he might have got the hit out, but the hit out didn't ever give us advantage. And then in the last quarter, he did a little bit better. But I was like, when Pitto got dropped for this game, I was not happy. TDK sort of looks like he's been checked out for, you know, the last 2 months, and they're just playing him, you know, maybe to get the 100 games or whatever. But I just thought tonight he just looks like he's not giving his all. Like, he's on there, he's like, oh, I'll just go through the motions, and gave away a few free kicks tonight, and he's just had his head and his haunches. And I'm like, mate, like, you're clearly athletically better than Witts. You just need the effort, you know, like, go forward, get the ball. So I thought that Hudson O'Keefe did really well. I really liked his game. You know, kicked one, missed one, but
Mr. Sitter.
Yeah, look, you know, on the left foot, around the corner, I get it. Like, to me, I don't look at things like that for a player like him and think bad. I think that's good. Like, he's marking on the goal line, you know, and he's building in confidence. I just think how one of the biggest things that I thought tonight, and it's been a theme for the whole year for me with our players, is we've had too many senior players that have been just a body on the ground, giving no effort, giving lackluster performances, standards drop, selection integrity hasn't been there, and it bleeds through the team. And through injury, Voss has had to make changes. And, you know, like, I'll give Charlie Curnow an out with all the injuries he's had, but since he's come out of the team, a lot of players have lifted, you know, like, and I'm not basing this on Charlie, but Cowan getting a go, Carroll getting a go, Lord actually getting played. People that want to play for the club, looks like they're playing, and then we've still got a sprinkling of people that don't. And, you know, like, even I'll give Charlie Curnow an out with all the injuries he's had, but since he's come out of the team, a lot of players have lifted, you know, like, and I'm not basing this on Charlie, but Cowan getting a go, Carroll getting a go, Lord actually getting played. People that want to play for the club, looks like they're playing, and then we've still got a sprinkling of people that don't. And TDK for me is one of those ones where it's like, dude, you're clearly not going to be here next year. Go on the twos, because the players that are on the field, they want to be there, you know.
What if I've got a hypothetical? What if in
Hit me.
20 years? What if in 20 years, De Koning's got a child who's a top-rated prospect? Are you going to care what happened at the end of 2025 when you could have just played him to get to 100 games and have dibs on him for potential?
I'll answer that hypothetical with another one. Why would he choose Carlton if he leaves?
Well, Carlton might be in a better position than St Kilda in 20 years.
This may be the pessimist in me, Tezza, but I can't see that happening.
Yeah, I was having conversations tonight with people about it.
Yeah,
it's like, are you really going to be thinking about the last few weeks of 2025 in 20 years?
To me, like I can see him not even going to Saints. I could see him going to like a Geelong, and I could see him in 20 years' time going to his son, just play for the Cats. So, you know, we can talk about the whole mysteries of what will happen, but to me, I'm not concerned. I think a big thing with our club and why we're in the position we're in is an acceptance of poor standards across the footy department, the playing group, and allowing players to play that are half in, half out. I think that is one of the worst cultural things that you can do to a club. And especially for young players, you can't actually do anything worse. If they come in as an 18, 19-year-old and shitty standards are accepted, that sets you up in a passage of where you can't almost get it back, because you're like, oh, well, he did this and he did this, so why am I getting persecuted for it?
Andy, well said, my friend. Well said. Thank you very much for calling in.
No worries. Have a good night, Tez.
You too, mate. Bye.
Yeah, mate.
Chris.
How you going, Tez, again?
Good, mate. Good to see you.
I was going to say it was good catching up with you before the game, and thanks for the tickets.
No worries. Thank Lisa.
I was going to say Lisa and Paul had a great time. So if you're on here, thanks again. They were top people. So really had a good time tonight. I was going to ask you my first question. What did you make of like the atmosphere when you got there and the game started? It was a little bit a lot hollow, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. It was. I actually thought it was pretty. And so this question, I actually think it depends on you, like the individual. So I went in with a little bit more of a no expectation, don't want to sit here, biscuit ass, get all miserable. So I just sort of allowed myself to just try and absorb it for what it was every moment and just try and enjoy it, and look for the sprinklings and take the expectations off. Because I expected to lose, and to be honest, I expected to lose badly tonight. So I thought it was quite upbeat for the very beginning, and then pretty quickly once the Suns got on top, it was pretty bad. And then I thought in that third quarter, my perspective was that it was awfully uncompetitive in that third quarter. So much so that I was done. I was done at 3/4 time. I was like, nah, well, this is unacceptable. And then, I'm watching the fourth quarter unfold on my phone.
So did you leave?
I left. Yeah, I did.
Wow.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. Yeah, I just I was gonna say I could hear the players so clearly on that second level, like more than I've ever heard before. But it was interesting because might have been the first quarter, it was the Gold Coast players I could hear really, really clearly.
Yep.
And I thought, oh, that's not really good. But I just thought during the game, I don't know if you noticed, they weren't going with the zone, they were going 1-on-1. And I noticed we were really having trouble finding space and we couldn't work it out. So I don't know what happened at 3/4 time. I don't know if it was a coach thing, if it was player driven, something happened, or the shackles went off, but something definitely happened at 3/4 time, because suddenly there was some space, there was momentum, hunger, passion, a lot.
Well, they just get the ball in motion. They just literally just kept the ball in motion and stopped overthinking it and just got it rolling and moving. And to be fair as well, I saw the Suns in the fourth quarter second guessing their intensity in the fourth quarter in contests. So different to what I was seeing. Like they were fierce in the first half, first three quarters, and then I saw the Suns sort of some of their players just back off for a split second at times.
Yeah. I felt that we needed that last quarter, and you don't want to be saying, "Oh, yeah, you know, like it was one of those honourable losses." We don't want to go there again, and it kind of feels like that. But I don't know, with Vossi and what happened this week, we needed that last quarter. We needed something, and just sitting with Lisa and Paul, we were. It was a really fun last quarter, and we were just saying we needed something like that. Like the crowd just needed something. We haven't had that in weeks. Just a bit of a spark. So hopefully, I don't know. Hopefully, moving forward, that can spark it a bit or set it off. Or we just needed something, and that was it. I thought Frankie Evans was unreal. I was saying a couple of weeks ago, when he had that collision, that I really, really hope they reward him with a game after putting his body on the line. So it was great that he came straight back in the side. And I just thought he had a lot of composure. He's almost playing, I don't know, I think he's playing Owi's role. Like I'm seeing a lot of that. But just that kick, was it to Harry in the last?
In the fourth,
composure. And when you're recruiting mid-20s players, I think that's where you get the composure. Whereas some of the younger kids, you could see those errors were like really costly. Even Motts and Fogg, you could just see they did not want the responsibility of having a shot for goal. I was glad Motts finally kicked one, but did you get that you could just see that both of them did not want the responsibility of having a shot?
I felt that.
And they're small forwards.
You can feel and you can see, I mean, Francis Evans is playing with a determination right now that I don't see the same determination. I see a lack of confidence with Fogarty when he's lining up a goal. And it hasn't just been tonight. It's been across his time with us when he's shooting for goal.
That miss, that was a coach killer.
What do you think of Adam Sard's game tonight?
Still seeing too many of these dump kicks from Sardi. I don't know. I think a little bit better, but I don't know. I don't know if when Newey comes in next year, if that's going to help Sardi. I feel like we've missed him so much, just with that experience and the direction and the organisation behind the ball. I think Newey has just been missed so much more than we could ever imagine. I can't wait for him to come back. What else was I going to mention? Matt Stevic, those two free kicks he played from 100 meters away.
Let me tell you now, the one he called against maybe George Hewett. So I'm sitting behind the benches. This guy, the fucking nerve on him to call it from way over there. Oh, mate, the bay where I was sitting, we were going off our head. Couldn't believe he called it.
I don't know. I couldn't believe it. I did not recognize the other umpires. Like there was one. I'm certain I've never seen him before. So Stevic, I had seen, and I knew he had a lot of experience. I think he's done 500 games. But the other lot, I didn't know. It was almost like Stevic was taking the responsibility for the other three. And I think this is the problem with having the four umpires. They're just over-umpiring.
You got Stevic, John Howarth, Nathan Toner, and Cameron Dorr.
No. No,
don't-
those three do not ring a bell at all.
Yeah, not sure. Anyway,
Mm.
Chris, it's been a
Anyway,
pleasure. my
thanks,
friend.
Tez.
Go Blues.
Go Blues. See you later.
Ari Stamatakos.
What's going on, mate?
What are you doing calling in to the fan cams, mate? I thought you quit.
Well, I talked about after the drink, so like, I don't want to like overdo it, sort of thing.
No, that's fair, mate. Good to hear from you.
No, it's good to be on. To be honest, I don't know. It's a bit weird. Probably one of the more joyful. I feel like that's kind of exaggerating a little bit. I felt after a game. I just heard you weren't there for the last quarter. You missed out, my friend. You missed out.
Oh, mate, I was there in spirit.
Because that was, I don't know, just for me, it was like expectations are off before the game, but expectations at 3/4 time were even worse, like even below zero. So just to see them have a go and to see Frankie Evans have one of like that kick to Moya inside 50 is one of the best kicks I've seen from a Carlton player. Just like context as well given to that. And yeah, I don't know. I really enjoyed myself in that last quarter. So yeah, I guess there's that. I guess we can take that from the game.
No, I think that's, mate, wherever you can find the joy in I mean, footy's meant to be joyful, right? That's the whole point of going to the footy.
Exactly. And I went with a couple of mates of mine, and we just took the piss the entire game because we like the game doesn't matter. And I think I don't know if I'm overly optimistic or overly positive with my outlook on the game, but the rest of the season doesn't matter in terms of we know that change will come, right?
Yeah.
Whether clearly it's not going to be the senior coach, it will be the rest of the football department. So what's the point in dwelling on the negatives when you could just focus on the positives and garner a little bit of positivity in the game and or in the crowd and online and communities? Like, focus on the positives, garner a bit of positivity, a bit of happiness. What's the worst that's going to happen? You know what I mean?
Kill a man for trying to enjoy the football.
I know. Kill a man for trying to enjoy Frankie Evans playing one of the best games of football you're ever going to see. Like, yeah. So I don't know. Maybe I'm just overly optimistic and overly positive, but yeah, Frankie was good. Moya's goal at the end was good. Would have liked him to be a bit more present throughout the game.
Oh, the snap, the left foot snap, Moya. He was.
Oh yeah, I was directly behind that, and it didn't snap. It went straight. If it just turned, then that would have lifted the roof off the joint. I'll tell you. But yeah, oh well, is what it is. I think we all expected a game to be similar to this. Although I don't think people expected the final quarter to be what it was.
No.
So yeah. So I don't know if you could take anything out of that, or it's more of just a fleeting moment because of the circumstance of the weekend of the game. But
look, they didn't embarrass themselves tonight.
And also, and I think we got to remember the Suns are a very, very, very good team. Like the Suns beat Brisbane by 10 goals like a couple of weeks ago, so. Sure. It's not as if we rolled up to Marvel and versed Melbourne and lost by 10 goals and we're down by 8 goals or whatever we were. So you do have to give credit to them because they're a good team. And when Ben King is leading out in front, like I don't think there's any defenders or any defensive structure that can stop that. So
Ben King, you know what he reminded me of tonight?
Who?
Like Tom Lynch under the roof
King
when he was
7.
playing for Gold. Yeah, when he was playing for Gold Coast. Literally, it was. He was inevitable.
We have form against this lot under the roof, don't we?
Sickening.
When you were on the train home, at any point did you regret your decision?
Oh, there was maybe a brief minute where I thought, like, yeah, maybe the comeback could be on, but honestly, I saw it. I genuinely thought that it would teeter out, and it kind of did.
Yeah, well, yeah. Odds are that a team doesn't come back from 48 points down to 46 points down to 3/4 time. Like odds are.
I don't know what it looked like to you. It looks so uncompetitive in the third quarter at times.
Yeah, well, we have form for that, don't we? So like, are we overly surprised?
Yeah. So I was like, you know what? Whatever. They're gonna get belted. I'm not gonna sit here and be miserable. I'm gonna control my environment and get out of here.
Yeah. It was a very. I mean, literally, apart from the last quarter, which was a pleasant surprise, the whole game went pretty much as I expected.
Yeah.
Started well. Suns fought back as a good team. Second quarter had some chances but didn't take them, and then the third quarter just capitulate as we have done. Haven't won a third quarter since round 6.
Really?
Yeah, have won three third quarters for the year. Haven't won one since round 6.
Fuck, man.
Yeah.
That's
So
grim. It's actually grim.
So I don't know what we do. Maybe do we like blaze up at halftime or something? Because that can be the only explanation, really. Just
What do you actually think it is? Like, genuinely?
I don't know. Because part of me thinks is it a game plan issue where like at the halftime the opposition adapts to what we've done in the first half and we don't. But I'm like, surely after the 4th, 5th, 6th, third quarter that we lose, that we can rectify that. And then the other half of my brain goes, well, is it an effort thing? Like they come out of 3/4 time sluggish. They're not like warmed up. They're not prepared or whatever. But then also I'm thinking, surely after the 5th, 6th time it happens in a row that you can rectify it. Clearly not. So I don't know. But it's more than like a trend. Like it's a proper trend now. Like a proper trend. So
it needs to be addressed ASAP.
Well, I'm sure it will be. I'm sure.
Yeah.
I'm sure it will be because change will come. But yeah. There you go.
Mate, great to have you on.
The boy from Brunswick, eh?
The boy from Brunswick, Frank the Tank. He's only 23 years old, apparently, right?
I know. I had this discussion as well. I genuinely thought he was like 28.
No.
So
23.
maybe he's the one.
He's
been under our nose. Mate, give him 3. After that, that was the best small forward performance we've seen since Eddie, first time round.
Oh.
Just got to enjoy it. Come on.
Nah, fair. Hey, listen.
Matter. This season doesn't matter. It doesn't matter at the end of the day. Yeah. We're done. Like the season was done when we lost to North at the J, and then from here on it's just been take the piss and enjoy the positives. That's what I reckon.
Fair, mate. I'll see you on Wednesday.
Yes, can't wait. Right. Hopefully my voice is back by then. I don't know if you could tell, but yeah,
I can tell. You sound like a man. Go Blues.
I'm sick, so thanks.
Oh, sorry.
Appreciate it. No, good.
Much love, mate.
See you soon.
See ya. All right, let's go. Ball of truth. Andrew.
Tez, what's going on, man? I don't blame you for leaving, by the way. Because I was fucking bored out of my brains in that third quarter, man. Honestly, I nearly turned it off. So if I was at the game, I would have done exactly what you did. I would have left.
No, it just looked ugly. It looked like it was going to get ugly.
Yeah. You know what's funny? On Monday when we did BA show, we spoke about the curse. And in that last quarter, man, I'm thinking of you. I'm like, it's Gold Coast. I'm thinking 2023 when that second quarter at the MCG when we scored 10 goals in a row. And I'm like, don't tell me that's going to happen again. But then, yeah, we missed a few chances. But, man, I was thinking of that. I'm like, that would have been funny after we just spoke about it. Against Gold Coast too. But it was a weird vibe in that last quarter, man. I haven't heard the crowd like that in a while.
Well, it was activated for the first time in a while. Like, properly activated.
Yeah. And that tribalism, that raw emotion started kicking in as well. And we haven't heard that basically all season. So, but man, like I said, third quarter, I would have left 100%. I was that freaking bored watching it at home. I didn't go tonight, but someone said earlier, like, why did we have that much space in the last quarter? And I'm telling you, for 3 quarters, man, when they pull the camera behind the play, if we're kicking out, I see it's usually a kick out. We chip it left to the pocket, and then it's a long kick. But when they show that camera angle, I see about 10 guys not moving off the ball.
Yeah.
And that is why no space is created. In that last quarter, plays were moving everywhere, man. It was like Snake on your Nokia phone. Seriously. In that third quarter, stagnant, flat-footed, nothing's going to happen.
Yeah.
So
it looks worse. I mean, not to just pin it all on Harry, but as an example, if Harry is the kick down the line, and it's been happening for years, they just point to this space in front of them. It becomes easy to defend.
Yeah.
And to be fair, Harry was outnumbered all night.
For sure.
But they also outnumbered Harry in a way that they knew when we were going to try and kick to Harry. So I don't know if this is just the result of not having our running players in the team that we need. I don't know if this is fixed with a guy like a Sam Walsh who can break the lines a bit, use his running power. I don't know if this is fixed with a guy. I don't even know if Elijah's part of the future now, because I just don't know. But a guy like that who can cut angles with his right foot and his left foot. But when it gets stagnant ahead of the ball, we are so easy to defend. It's not funny.
I know. What did you think of Ollie Holland's game tonight? Because I've just tuned in late, so I don't know if anyone's spoken about him. But did you?
Look, he tries his guts out, but for fuck's sake, bless his
the
soul.
kicking.
Oh my god! Like
I know.
I really do appreciate he's having a crack and
Yeah.
he's playing with pride and he's trying his guts out.
Just got to work on that finesse.
1,000 kicks a day.
Yeah.
in the off season.
When the boys go home training, you stay back, mate.
Yeah.
Start kicking that footy. Nah.
I think he's got something like it can be worked with. It can be improved.
100%. I actually liked his game tonight. Besides the skill errors and whatnot, I really thought he was good. He was reliable, getting the footy and picking it up. And actually, he was bursting through a few tackles, so he looked a little bit stronger. But then he does get caught holding the ball a little bit too easy sometimes, caught in the tackle. But I think he will improve, man. Honestly, I wish his brother had his mentality. Hopefully, we don't know what's going to happen with that, but
well, look, he's playing tomorrow morning, 11 a.m. Elijah's going to play for the AFL. So
it's huge.
That's another surprise to me. As in, I just assumed that it's tough. He's going through it. He's got some troubles and he's struggling, and he's not going to make it through. And this will be it for him.
Yeah,
it looks like there might be a pathway for him. It's just a hard one to talk about.
Hopefully. I mean, like we said on Monday, it would be his last chance for sure. But what I didn't get your thoughts when they announced Vossi would be staying, because me and you both thought he might be gone. So what was your initial feeling towards that?
Look, pretty simple for me. Graham Wright has had a whole year, and there can be no question around how much time he's had to gather enough evidence to make an informed decision, and he's made it, and he knows way better than what I do, and so I'll just back him to make the right call for now. I don't think I think what's being lost in this is that we didn't extend Voss. We're just letting him see out his contract.
True,
that's what's happening. He's basically, there'll be pressure taken off him for 3 weeks, and then as soon as round one comes next year, it's fiercely back on, and every little mistake that gets made in game next year, it's back on. So it's not like a free pass to an extension. And if he doesn't perform well and we don't play finals next year, he might go. He probably will. And if we do, and if we perform well and we boost up, and it looks like he actually did just need a better, more senior team around him, then great. Then he might earn the right. So I just believe Graham Wright knows.
Yeah, I felt a bit of relief, to be honest, man. I'm like, all right, all the negativity, and all the bad energy, fuck it right off, and let's start fresh next year and see what happens. That's where my mind was at when I heard it. I'm like, all right, we're backing him in. At least we have a little bit of direction now. It was ballsy in terms of the backlash, but I'm sure there will be heaps of changes. That's just the beginning. So keeping Voss on. But
what do you want to see? Do you have an opinion on what you want to see from the department?
Yeah, kind of I don't know, man. I don't know the ins and outs of out like Voss's team, but I think there needs to be changes there, like assistant. I want to see a new assistant coach, someone who's been there and done it, who's won, who's a winner, and just a bit of experience. Like we said on Monday, like Jimmy Bartel, those type of people that have been there and done it. I want to see winners in the club to get us to that next level. I think if we keep it the same, nothing will change. So there has to be changes, whether it's player, personnel, everything. It's not a mini rebuild, but just changes. Just change the culture and
man.
new faces, new insight. That's all we can hope for, really. But man, sorry, round 1 is gonna go fucking right off. I reckon. I'm already excited for it. It's weird.
I am. I look. Once you know what I think part of the angst was due to with the fan base is when there's indecision and there's uncertainty, it just people go searching for answers. So whether that's the rumors, whether that's, I know I did, there's indecision everywhere. And so I'm on Big Footy, I'm on Reddit more than ever in my life because I'm just looking for what is the answer. And everyone's got their bias. So you look for what, you read. That's why text can be a bit tricky because you read what you want to read. Your subconscious will read what you actually want to see. So it's just tricky. What I like more than anything about what happened this week was a decision was made. So a bit of certainty, and then more decisions are going to be made over the next few weeks, and they'll be judged accordingly next year. We'll see it out.
That's it, man. Players will come back. Changes will be made. It's a fresh start.
Yeah,
that's all we can hope for, really. Hey.
Yeah, man.
That's
that. Good stuff, man. Thanks for calling in,
man. No, thank you, man. Thanks for having me.
See ya.
Cheers, bro.
All right, let's go with Mitch. I see you. Hello, mate.
Jazz, what's going on, buddy?
Mate, it's a Saturday night in with the fam, third last fan camp for the year.
Yeah, living the dream. Living the dream. What's your thoughts? Anything else?
Look, I'm glad they didn't embarrass the monogram tonight.
Absolutely. I mean, and look, only 2 weeks ago, man, you were talking about Frankie Evans, and he comes out like Prime Modra. Where's this been?
Well,
you
got to think as well. This is his first year with the club. He came late. I mean, the more you play with a certain player and the more that a player is around a club, the more comfortable they're going to be. So I can only imagine another preseason with the group will only have them more familiar with him and him familiar with the game plan and what they want to do. So I don't know. Even before tonight, I still think he can be a valuable squad player. I don't know if he's in the best version of this team when everyone's fit and healthy, but you do need a squad of 30, 35 that can play on any given week. And I think he's shown that he can play at the level.
Absolutely. And absolutely. And to be honest with you, like, as you said earlier, he seems like he wants to play for that monogram. He seems like he actually wants to fight, and I feel like that seems like something we're lacking at the moment. It just, I don't know. It just feels like a bit of I think they've just given up at the moment. I think the season's done and that's it, Let's just roll through and start over next year.
Yeah.
What do you think? TDK, that's another question. Like,
it started as a conspiracy theory in my mind. Like, they're just trying to get him to 100 games so that way, down the line, maybe we get a father-son or a father-daughter. And then I was like, nah, that's crazy talk. But I just like talking about it for a laugh. And then when they named him, like, is there a chance he stays? Is that a sign of that? Is this the club saying, we know you might be going, but we're still going to play you because you haven't told us? Like, who knows?
Yeah, but also, what's the reasoning behind not playing Pitto? Like, they've made it look as if we play that big lumbering ruckman, we play Pitman.
Yeah.
We play Jared Witts, and he doesn't play? Is it because they think, all right, well, we can maybe utilize TDK as a forward a bit more and switch around with Harry? But then you go and throw Hudson O'Keefe under the bus against arguably one of the better ruckmen of the competition.
Yeah. Well, look, I think I don't mind seeing Hudson at the level.
Absolutely.
See what he's made of.
Absolutely. But they've got to start making some big decisions. Big decisions. You know,
Yeah.
I don't know. And what's the go with just banging it to the boundary line? You know, like what's this? It's bleeding through to the VFL too. They do it a lot in the VFL.
You watch it a lot, so you take you shoot photos a lot for the VFL.
Yeah. So I head down most weeks I can. Same situation. Honestly, it's just watching probably a lesser version of the AFL. Yeah, bang it to the line, bang it to a tall. 1 out of 10 times they'll probably clock a mark in a pack, and they think, yeah, all right, it'll work. Let's go again.
They're playing the percentages and playing.
They're making it hard for themselves.
Yeah. Is there anybody else that you see at the VFL level that you think we're going to see over the next few weeks?
If Harry Lemmy didn't do his hammy, I think he would have probably definitely played.
Mm-hmm.
Especially now with Charlie having his knee cleaned up and doing all that sort of stuff. Ben Campo, same situation. If he didn't get suspended, he'd probably have it run.
Has he done the 4 games yet? Is that done? Is that
no? I think this is week 3 this week.
Okay. Fuck, man.
This week.
They had the bye as well. That's right.
Bit of speed, bit of fight. You know, and the same as Lucas. Like they both play for the monogram. Whether it's they've seen what their dad went through, whether it's growing up around the club, they know what it stands for. You know, but yeah, that's just what else can you say?
Yeah,
what else can you say? You know, and yeah,
will you be there tomorrow morning?
Absolutely. I'll be heading down. Let's yeah, be interesting. But
yeah.
I don't know. It felt like for a while there they were trying to select players because we were getting close to playing finals or a chance of playing finals. Now that's out the window. Why? Yeah, I don't get it. I just don't get with some of the moves they're making at the moment. I really don't.
I mean, I think, I don't know, from my point of view, I think it makes sense. You play your senior players when you think you're a chance to play finals, and then when you clearly know that you can't, you put as many kids in as you can. I think that's what they've done. I think they've drip fed them in. There seems to be an extra kid that plays now every week. And
yeah, well, is that injuries or is that, is that finally starting to reward them? Or is it just because the VFL is not doing as well as looking at playing finals? Is that the reason why? Why I feel like why is it taking so long? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Ben Cambrioli's been smashing doors down for a while. For me, probably the last 8 weeks.
Yeah.
And just, I don't know. Maybe it's too early for him. You don't want to throw him to the wolves, but I don't know. There's only one way to find out sometimes.
I reckon he would have played if he wasn't suspended by now.
I'd say so.
Just unfortunate. I mean, he'll play. He'll play either. Well, he won't play this week. He's got one more week. He might play against the Bombers last game of the year.
Hopefully, if not, I'd put him round 1. In my opinion, you'd have to. You'd have to think about it.
He's got to earn the right. Get a good preseason in.
Yeah. But also, what happens? That's another thing. What happens when Cherry comes back? Cooper Lord's finally getting a crack in the middle, and arguably probably one of our better, if not best, players tonight.
He was.
Don't want to see him get pushed out into the back line again off the half back. How do you think? What do you think is going to happen with Sard? How do you think Sardi went tonight?
Thought he had a really poor first quarter. Look, I thought he was okay. He reached the minimum standard when it got to the end of the game, but I try and not be unfair and just, you know how sometimes a player makes a mistake and you just focus on that one bad mistake for the rest of the game. The turnover early in the game where it came back the other end and Gold Coast kicked a goal from it. It just sticks in my head and it's unfair. But yeah, I don't know. Thought he was okay.
I don't know.
Thought he was
For me
alright.
as a senior footballer, though, like for me, the thing that stands out for me is that handball where he put Lockie Cowan under the pump.
Oh,
Mate, that is on. If I was Lockie Cowan, I would have given him an absolute spray. Like
but
you
you know
just
what?
can't go putting blokes under the pump like that.
Cripps does it too. I think it might have been
Absolutely.
against North Melbourne. He might have given George Hewett one, just hospital.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Yeah, and then Barty just, I feel like sometimes he looks better than what he is. He gets a lot of those quick flick handballs and gets a good run, and he does all that sort of stuff. But when you really need it, I just feel like he doesn't show up.
Yeah.
When you really, really need that speed in the game. You know, tonight when, I don't know what happened in that fourth quarter and what changed their minds, but I think was it just a case of,
I mean, look, they stuck at it. They stuck at it and they got their opportunity and they got their little window of momentum, and then they found confidence from that, and then it grew, and then the Suns started second guessing, and they probably took their foot off a little bit too much too early in that fourth. They didn't think the Blues would keep at it, and then footy's funny. All you need is a moment or two and you find confidence, and then once you find confidence, if the team believes, and then the crowd gets into it, and then all of a sudden it's compounding.
Yep, absolutely. But is it also a case of they had nothing to lose? Did they realise 3/4 time we've really got nothing to lose here?
Just go out
Gold
there.
Coast is the one who are under the pump here. If they lose this, and all of a sudden we start using the football through the corridor, we start just anything we could do to get that ball forward. They were just moving the ball forward. You know, even when the ball was on the ground coming into packs, just straight in, smack it forward, just keep going, just keep pushing and pushing and pushing. I don't know, Des.
Mate, we'll just.
But he's a weird game, mate.
It's a weird sport. It is.
Yeah. I don't know. What are we going to do with Ollie Hollands as well? Like, do you just this off season, mate, give him a football and say, don't put the thing down.
Yeah.
Just don't put it down.
Yeah, look, he's just got to chip away. He's just got to keep chipping away at it.
Yeah. Does Dan Walsh go back to the wing now because of Cooper Lord?
Maybe.
Yeah, I don't know. I think he should be back on the wing too, but
I mean, we miss him a lot, Sam Walsh.
We miss that gut running.
Yeah.
We miss that gut running.
Yeah. There's like six. I mean, we miss solid six. Like there's like 4 or 5 of our best 10 players not playing that we miss sorely.
Yeah. And we look calm when Noodles is out there. Everything just, I don't know. It all works.
Yeah.
When you've got blokes like Noodles out there, and you know, when Elijah's out there, we look calm, we look clean. He wants to take the ball through the corridor. He wants to be daring. All what ifs, Tez.
Yeah. Mate, I might see you tomorrow.
Yes. Let me know if you're going to head down, and
we'll do.
Yeah. If you do, I'll catch up with you.
Sounds good, my friend.
Enjoy, Tez.
See ya. Young Zach Borg.
Hey, Tess. How are we, man?
Good, mate. How are you?
Yeah, I'm all right. 3 games. 2 games left? Is that it? 2 games left of the season now?
2 more.
Yeah. Well, it's a relief, and I was went to the game. Obviously, I was feeling like you. I wanted to go home, but I moved seats to where the cheer squad was at 3/4 time, and we actually started to come back. So it was a good comeback, obviously, but yeah, we left too late. But yeah, how did you see the game, Tess? Because well, you left at 3/4 time, right? Am I wrong, or you left
Yeah, so I watched most of the fourth on my phone. Look, the game, I thought we were going to get beaten well tonight, and so when it got to the third quarter, I thought, okay, this is going exactly how I feared it might. I was disappointed. Like, we're down 48. Like, it was terrible. Missed our opportunities, and then all of a sudden they've made a game of it, and now we're ruining our chances. Hang on, Zach. Something's going on with your phone, mate. Something's going on. You're making noises.
Hello?
Yeah. What are you doing with your phone?
Is it all good now? Or?
Yeah. I don't know what was happening.
I don't know what happened either. So, yeah, umpires weren't really helpful either, to be honest. I don't know. But yeah, you can't really also blame them. But yeah, it was yeah. I mean, it was a good fight back. I mean, I know this guy's been mentioned a lot tonight. But Francis Evans has really earned his, spot on this team. I think for next year too. I think if we had all of our best available players, I think he's definitely a shot to be in that best team next year. I think he's earned his spot on the list. And for him to only be 23 is, he's still got, a lot of years. Because I thought, look, he looks older than 23, to be honest. You say the same thing, right? Or?
It's the moustache.
Yes, the moustache. That's right. Yes, fair enough. And that kick to Ashton Moore. I mean, that kick was just incredible. I mean, yeah, wow. And have you seen the picture, or did you see him? Like, he marked it on Mac Andrew. Have you seen that, or
Francis Evans?
Yep.
Yeah, I saw it. I was watching.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. Well, next week we got Port coming. They come off a one goal loss at home. Do we get the job done, Tez? I think our next two games we should win.
No, they're winnable.
Yeah, I reckon we should win next two games.
Yeah, I mean, I'd be more. I think the Bombers game we should win. The Port game, winnable.
50-50.
I would say. Yeah, I would say.
Yeah. I was gonna speak about the overall game, Tez. Like, you look when Gold Coast were at their best, right?
Yeah.
We don't have tacticians. That's where the problem is. And you were speaking about it with the last guy before. No, the guy before the one you were speaking about before, right? Is Voss needs the goodest senior assistants around him. And I've said this all year. I've said this to you. I've said this to, my dad, friends. I've said this to everyone. Voss doesn't have the right tacticians and the right senior assistants around him, which he will. We know they're probably likely to go, but at times it's really frustrating knowing that's where the problem is. We don't have the tactics, going bombing down the line, kick into a contest, and then the cycle repeats. And then in that last quarter, we saw, nothing to play for. And then we could see it when the ball's in motion, how well we can move the ball and how well we can play. So, what do you think, Tez? Do you agree, or what do you think is going to happen?
I think they're going to put a lot more seniority around Michael Voss. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I had a good conversation with a guy named Des. I saw him on the train on the way tonight, and Des was in the Australian Navy, and he was talking about Voss needing a better team with him, and because there's this whole conversation around why does Voss need help if he's good enough, and if he's not good enough, then we should get rid of him. But the reality is, you have a team that you need to play a role on the field. You got a team that you need off the field as well in the coaching department. And Des was saying, when you're in the Navy, you need to have competent people around you, senior competent people around you, because if you make a mistake, I mean, you die, and it's very extreme. So I think they'll put senior people in the coach's box, just better minds, more senior minds. And I don't know, it could work, it could not work, mate. We'll see what happens.
I think, well, if we do get the right people, I think I'm very confident that we can bounce back next year.
Mm-hmm.
But also, as the guy who spoke, obviously, as I said before, the guy who spoke, I don't know if it was last guy or the guy who spoke before the last guy, he was saying we need coaches like Ken Hinkley who've been consistently making finals, who've won these games before. Like you know what I mean, right? Like they've just won like before, and they know how to win, and they're just experts at it. So we'll see what happens, Tez. But
right,
yeah, changes will happen.
All right, Zach,
good night,
thanks for
Tez.
calling in, my friend. See ya.
See you, Tez. Speak to you next week. Bye.
Bye. Tyler.
Terry, how you going, mate?
Good, mate. What did you think of it?
What did I think of it? Well, we turned up for about 10 minutes, and then it wasn't until the last quarter then we finally actually got going, but that was about it. That third quarter was absolutely putrid. I pretty much went, no, I'm going to head to bed after that, and then I saw the first goal of the fourth quarter, and stuff it, I'll go back out, I'll go and watch it. And actually, it was a very entertaining last quarter. So, yeah, it wasn't a great game. But then again, you're right about one thing: they didn't disgrace themselves at the end. I reckon if it turned out to be an absolute belting, then yeah, 100%. I reckon it would have been the look of the players probably would have been a lot worse than what it was. What actually happened. So. Yeah,
I was
but
going into
otherwise,
the game. I don't know how you were seeing it. I was going into this week thinking, I don't think we'll get smashed by Port. We may lose, but I think we can be competitive with them. I think we can be competitive with the Bombers. This was the one tonight that I thought there's a chance here that the Suns really put us to the sword.
Yeah, I was pretty much of the same opinion. Like, it would have been great, but then especially like all the stuff that was going on through the week, like you just think, oh, they might get up for Voss, like, show a little bit of extra heart to get up for Voss to prove that he's the coach, he's the man that they want to go for a premiership with. But that third quarter was absolutely fucking dismal. I don't get it. I think no one gets it, but I reckon they're going to self-preservation mode. I don't know.
Yeah.
They look flat. It's like they don't want to run. And then the fourth quarter was like, bang. Where did that come from?
Yeah.
Where did that come from? But now, I think we're like...
You think they found something?
Yeah, I think they found something. Definitely.
You think that can roll? Do you think that can roll into next week, or do you think it was just a circumstance of the game?
I reckon definitely that can, because obviously they found something. Because you don't just go on if I know it's been talked about if Fogarty kicked that goal, but if you go on like a 5 to 6 goal streak, then and how they were attacking the ball, how they were utilising the corridor, how they were changing the angles, they were just going for it. That is what we want to see. It's not about the kicking down the line and all of that is always the frigging issue. It is the space. It is the players deciding to lead for the ball. It is accountability each time that ball is moved. And also kicking with intent. And I definitely agree. You said about like fundamentals for Ollie. I think it's fundamentals for all of them, to be honest.
Of course.
I think we really need, over the preseason, that is our one main focus, is fundamentals again. And it's not just the fundamentals of kicking a football and handball and all. It's the fundamentals of the game in general. One-on-one, you go in hard. Like, Voss should be holding these fucking players back. He should be saying, you should be like rabid dogs, and I should have to hold you back at times to go, no, you're going too hard. Let's pull it back a little bit. Like, seriously. It shouldn't have to be riling them up to get frigging going. But anyway, it was an interesting game. But a lot of positives, like Francis Evans, what a game from him.
I'll give you one. There's one guy that I think deserves a bit of a mention, not just for tonight, but his last month. Lockie Cowan.
Oh, definitely, absolutely.
I think he's broken through and he's gotten through to the next level.
Yeah, I agree. I reckon he is gonna go really well next year, especially. I want to see him. I really want to see him take it to Port Adelaide next week. That'll be a hell of a game. But I don't know. Like, this is going to be the next few weeks is going to be very interesting with this club. Like, this will be the time. This is the I reckon this is the change we needed, and it was good to see that they stuck behind Voss. Now, obviously, there's going to be criticism, like if he should have stayed or should have gone. Who cares? You're right. The decision was made, and they're stuck with it. But I think also at the same time with this club next year, the expectation, yeah, okay, it's going to be make finals, but the expectation to, I think they're gonna focus more on the actual game plan more next year than this year. I think a lot of things are going to change, and should be very interesting. And I'm looking forward to it. Carlton's not going away. It's not going away. It's a minor setback, Terry. It's just a minor setback. Just a minor one.
We're just going to keep trying until one day they get it right.
Yeah, they'll get it right eventually. Something's gonna click, and then watch it and look out. So, we'll see how we go for next week, and stick it to Port, and then I definitely want to end a season on a friggin' win against the Bombers. Can't let that not happen. But no, see how we go.
Good on ya. Thanks, Tyler.
Cheers, Terry. See ya.
See you, mate. Lucas.
G'day, Tez. How are you?
Man, I'm well. How are you doing? 12:30 in the morning, Saturday into Sunday.
I've been sitting in the waiting room for a while, but it's been nice listening to everyone else, have their say. I'm pretty satisfied with that. Like I was with you. I thought we were going to get absolutely spanked tonight. I thought sort of first 10 minutes it was typical Carlton, come out the gates, looking decent. I think what did we kick 3 the first 4? And then from that point to 3/4 time, we were just pretty bad. That third quarter, as everyone said, like putrid, just typical Carlton. I saw a stat before the game. They pretty much show it every week on Fox Footy and stuff. We are second in the comp over the whole season for first quarters.
Mm-hmm.
And we're second last for third quarters, which is just insane.
I think Ari came on earlier, and it might have been Ari.
Yeah, it was. I think he said we only won like 3 or something third quarters for the year or something.
The last time we won a third quarter was round 6, I think is what he said.
Yeah, against North.
Crazy.
Yeah, I think it's got to do with mentality. I honestly think it goes all the way back to that Richmond game. And it's sort of built up over the course of the whole season where they're like, oh no, it's this, or oh no, it's the third quarter. This is when we fade out, and then they kind of just get in their heads.
Yeah.
I think that's probably the cause of it. I think that the last couple of weeks have been quite positive, even though we did lose both games. I think the one big thing is the ball movement. It's gotten a lot better over the past couple of weeks. We're seeing a lot more like handball chains through the middle, just quickly moving the ball, not second guessing ourselves, not trying to be conservative. We're really taking the game on, which I like to see. I couldn't believe Francis Evans's game. Like, I thought he was an absolute dud the whole season, but credit to him. Somehow he's 23. Like I thought he was in his 30s.
I want to see when he's born. I want to see Francis Evans' birthday.
Yeah, it's crazy. But yeah, he had a phenomenal game.
So he actually 23 on his birthday is the 23rd of August. So he's about to be 24 in a few weeks.
That's actually insane. I thought he was he was at the back end of his career. I do think that a lot of it, what we saw in the last quarter, I think it did have to do with Voss and him staying. I have been under the opinion all year that he should go. Personally, I've been very critical of him since the sort of way we crashed out of the season last year. But you know what? If they've decided to keep him on, then we just have to support him. We have to get the right help around him. I agree that we need to get just senior assistants around him, just people that know how to win. To be honest, I wasn't actually that surprised at the time. Like over the course of the whole year, I've sort of thought that he was gonna go. But then literally just the past week leading up to it, I just had a feeling that they were going to keep him. So I wasn't actually that surprised that he stayed. But it is what it is. We're just going to have to, look to next year. I'm so glad you mentioned Cowan before, because I think he's improved so much over the past few games. I've always liked him. He's always had the talent, but it's just been like the defensive side of his game. He's made like some of his decision making, but I think he's improved a lot with that.
Yeah.
Is there anyone else you think sort of had a good game
that we haven't spoken about too much?
Yeah.
I actually think we haven't spoken enough about Cooper Lord tonight.
Yeah, I love him. I absolutely love him. I think the way he's improved. He wasn't even on the list.
Yeah,
at the start of last year, mid-season recruit. He's gotten so much better.
The task that he has had over the last 2 weeks, these are sprinklings that you look for. I think.
Like Anderson, I was telling people this week that Anderson was going to win the Brownlow. He did nothing. He actually did nothing.
That was a good performance. Yeah.
Yeah, really good.
Let's see if we can get a win though. We've got to get a win.
I think these last two games are winnable. Port, 50-50. They looked really good. I watched them in the last quarter tonight. Yeah. They looked pretty good. They gave Freo a game. Essendon, we have to beat them comfortably. I'm sorry, it's not their fault. They've got all these injuries, but we cannot drop that game.
No. Well, I mean, we can.
Yeah, we can.
We can drop that game. We just need to not drop that game.
Yeah. He didn't really have the greatest game tonight, but one player I absolutely love is Moya. I think he's going to be a superstar. He's one of my favorite young players that's come through. I wish he kicked that snap. The one that just went straight. It didn't have quite enough bend on it.
Yeah. I wouldn't mind if he just becomes a solid player. I think superstar. I think we throw out superstar.
I love him. I absolutely love him. I think he's got so much potential.
I do too. I think he's. You know what? I actually like what I see from Moya when he's at stoppage.
Yeah. I noticed he was getting in it a bit today.
Yeah. He's we don't have players that move like him at stoppage.
Yeah. I believe that the comeback was on for about 10 seconds. When Fogarty took the mark from 20 meters out, I thought, oh my God, we might actually win this. And then he misses it. And I'm like, yeah, we're done.
Yep. Yeah. Very good. What's on for the rest of your evening?
Well, I'm going to watch Arsenal's preseason game, which is in like an hour and a half.
Beautiful.
Sleep in tomorrow. Maybe if I can get up early, find a way to watch the VFL. Is there a way to watch it or?
Yeah, you can just go on the AFL website and they'll be streaming it on the AFL website.
Maybe I'll watch that.
Yeah.
Tomorrow. But
awesome. Love your work. Lucas, thanks very much, man.
See ya.
Beachy, back in the library.
Yeah, where I belong, as people say. Well, that was a roller coaster tonight. Start off well, and fall asleep for practically 2 quarters, and then say, "Hang on, we're still playing a game of footy here. We can actually do something with this." And then little basic moments.
Yeah.
Little basic moments in front of goal, around the ground. Just little basic moments. Stuff like that continue to add up. Do they add up for us? Sometimes they do. do they add up against this? More often than not, that's what's happened.
Yeah. Like I can understand the kids are playing, but I don't think those misses are excusable. Like they're inexcusable. So whether you're a kid or whether you're an experienced guy like Lockie Fogarty, they are going to cost you games of football. You can't be missing from 20 meters out directly in front, which they know more than what anyone knows.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, look, Tez, you're a former footy player yourself. You've won a premiership with the Thomastown Bears. We've all heard you talk about it before. Greatest respect to Fogarty and the players that put on the jumper each week, okay? But people like you, people like me, kick from 20 meters out, we're nailing that.
Yeah.
We are absolutely nailing it. Yeah, okay, we might not be putting them to the crowd each week, but we're kicking the goal. That's what you're supposed to do.
Do you know what else I noticed about the game as well? The Suns kicked some pretty tough goals. So early in the game, I mean, Witts just throws it on the boot in the ruck contest, kicks the goal. The Ben Long goal straight after that. I think Ben Long kicked another one from the boundary. Like they kicked some rippers tonight.
Ben King as well kicked 6.
He's
The sixth one that he kicked, I was right behind that. Like he's lined up and I'm looking at it and I'm like, oh, fuck man, he's done it again.
No.
And you mentioned it before, right? Who did it remind you of? Tom Lynch for the Gold Coast Suns.
Tom Lynch 10 years ago.
Exactly, where he kicked in 2 games, 2 separate games, 7-1, 9 straight.
Yeah.
And I'm like, seriously? We're allowing this to happen again.
Yeah.
I thought we were past this.
Yeah. Well, at least you don't have any interstate trips to go to over the next few weeks.
No, exactly. So we're all good there. In terms of the footy, at least they're all in Melbourne, so we don't have to worry about that anymore, thankfully.
Yeah.
But I'm aware of what happened in Adelaide tonight, and look, I understand that it ain't going to be easy against the Power, but look, we still have a job to do with 2 games to go, and we will go from there. I mean, you mentioned Cowan, you've mentioned Lords, you've mentioned Ollie Hollands. They all had great games for their own reasons, but again, basic stuff just needs to be worked on to really, really focus in on what goes into 2026.
Bring it on, mate. Bring these changes on. Let's get to preseason. Let's go.
And Graham Wright, please, come on in. Give us what we need to know. Give us what we need to know, because we've been doing this for 20 years now, almost.
Yeah.
Like just in terms of trying to get back to where we need to be. Like, come on, the time's come.
Beachy, well said, mate. Speak to you soon.
Too easy, mate.
See ya. Ben.
Hey, mate. How are you?
Good. Yourself?
Yeah, good.
Are you talking to your phone?
Yes.
Is it comfortable for you? Okay, yeah.
Is that all right without the glare?
Yeah.
Sweet. That was the first game where I enjoyed a patch of footy, like a good 15 minutes of footy, since St Kilda last year.
Last year?
Yeah. So, like, even though we lost that game, that we still had good patches in that game. Like, this year, Richmond, when I went, it was shit. Hawthorn, when we went, we were shit. Like, I've been to about 14, 13 games this year, and there hasn't been too many really, really good patches outside of playing West Coast or North at the start of the year, which I don't get the same energy from.
Fair.
So,
no, I don't know if anyone saw that coming in that fourth quarter.
No.
I did. Look, I'll be honest. I did expect them to kick a couple, maybe 2 or 3. They did it against. Was it Brisbane a few weeks ago? 2 or 3 in the
Yeah, I
fourth,
reckon we did too.
something like that. So I kind of thought that would happen. I didn't expect 6 in a row.
No, neither did I, because I was ready to leave too with my partner.
Yeah.
But I thought, oh, stuff it. Like I'm one that never likes to leave early, but I'm like, I don't give a fuck anymore. I'm happy to leave early.
Yeah, that's fair.
But I'm like, oh, I'll give it 10 minutes into the blast and then we'll head off. But yeah, no, fair play. It was a horrible game for 3 quarters, but it was good to show some fight.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think speaking a little bit earlier, sorry, no one's spoken about him, but I think quietly, even though we didn't have many goals or many touches, I thought Harry Mackay was really good in the contest all night. Like,
you know what?
So often he was outnumbered, and I thought so often he brought the ball to ground or half contests. So I thought for the young team we had, I thought he stood up really well, to be fair.
Glad you brought him up. So he's kicked 3 goals straight.
I think you got 3 goals, yep.
I think one might have gone out the floor, didn't make the distance. But
Yes.
yeah, he was definitely outnumbered for the majority of the night. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought he was good.
Yeah. Last week we were talking about his effort and his tackling. I think it overall comes under the umbrella of competing.
Yeah.
So he's hit the scoreboard. He's competed at a pretty good level tonight.
Yeah.
More importantly, he's kicked 3 goals, which is what I think we need from him, like at a bare minimum in a game like tonight.
Yeah, 100%. So,
Isn't it funny though? Do you think it's funny that Francis Evans can push out Mac Andrew and use his body like that?
No, don't get me started. So look, the last couple of years, I'll put my hand up. I've been off Harry, or not off Harry, but I've doubted Harry a bit. I think he's a little bit soft, gives up a little bit too easily sometimes, and then sometimes he's fantastic. He's very on and off, but yeah, Francis Evans fucking holding out Mac Andrews in a 1-on-1 contest, far out.
He also does
Wasn't a
not
Mopping
get.
Cup.
He also does not get umpired anything close to what some of the other key forwards do.
No, I definitely agree. I think there was a few free kicks that he could have had tonight. I think we were actually pretty stiff on the umpires. But again, you can say that every game. Everyone's always stiff by the umpires.
The important thing that I saw with Harry tonight, there was one mark in particular that he took where he launched properly out the footy and took it in front of him.
Yeah.
I feel like the umpiring on him will change if he attacks the play like that more often than what he doesn't.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. Again, that same thing with Jack Ginnivan. Umpires learn your tendencies and learn how you attack the footy and umpire you a little bit different. So, yeah, no, I definitely agree. And weirdly, I've got a sort of compliment for Harry O'Farrell this game because Wiedering had no confidence without O'Farrell there tonight, down the back.
Oh, he looks so different at the moment. Yeah, well, first of all, Jack gone from the back line, and then O'Farrell too. Just goes to
And
show.
obviously Haynes early because we sat level 2 right behind the goals, sitting behind Wiedering like our defence in the first quarter, and King kicked 3, but I reckon only one of them was half Wiedering's fault. Like, I think Wiedering is trying to cover every single gap in the defence at the same time and sometimes gets half caught out. But yeah, I just don't think he has any confidence, and unfortunately, in Lewis Young anymore.
Yeah. Lewis is Lewis, man.
That's right. Lewis does some great things. He does Lewis at some other points. So he's interesting. But I'm looking forward to October now. My season started. It's been a rough year, but October's coming.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to the silly season, the imagination running wild again. It's all about the ifs. Oh, but if he gets fit. Oh, but gee, if they work well together. Oh, but gee, if they just tinker with this. And bring it
Bloody
on.
Funny.
Bring it on.
Absolutely.
Ben, you're a star, mate. Thanks for calling.
Thank you very much, mate. Good to see you.
Mate. You too. Bye.
Bye.
Only Carlton in the blue.
That's right, in the car. Like always, I'm always in the blue on this show. But look, I'm here to talk about the Frankie Evans show. How good was he?
I'm naming these the Frank cams from now on.
Seriously, he did it all. He did it all. I saw him in defense. I saw him hit lace-out kicks. I saw him kick goals. Like, he kicked 4 goals straight. Where has this been? I know we haven't played him consistently all season, but where has this been for the year? Because, like, he's been pretty poor. Like, that, I don't think that's an outrageous thing to say. He's been pretty bad whenever he plays, right? So, I don't know. Like, well, where's that been? Do you think it's a confidence thing? Do you think he's, like, just now getting settled with the club and the system? Or is it
Yeah,
just
for
like he's
sure. I
playing for his
mean,
contract?
it's his first year at the club. He's already not part of like the clique. You know what it's like. You know, the new guy. So he doesn't have strong relationships at the very beginning of the year with players at the club. He just works his ass off. He earns his opportunity. He actually had a pretty good game against the D's just before he got hit. He was showing good signs. I've actually like it's weird. He got knocked out, and usually players need, you know, a week or two after a concussion to get back to the speed of things. But he has come back since getting knocked out, and he's been just so determined. It just goes to show the mindset. When you have the determination to play well no matter what, and you find a way, I think he deserves all the credit that he's going to be getting.
Yeah, 100%. I like the entire year. I haven't doubted his effort, right? Like, he's always been a hardworking player. He gets in positions. He just couldn't really convert from those positions. Like against Collingwood, I think he kicked 2 behinds. The Sydney game, he tagged Blakey and did a really good job on him. Kicked 3 behinds. So he works his ass off, and I feel like, but like honestly, this might be a hot take. I want to re-sign him. I think he should be at this club because he's one of those players that looks like he wants to be here. It looks like he's working for the Monogram. Like, and it's so weird because he's not a Carlton player. You know what I mean? He's a Port reject, whatever. Just came to the club. But I really liked what I saw tonight. I liked what I saw against the D's as well. You know, putting his head over the ball. No one's done that this year.
Yeah, I mean, look, I don't see why you can't offer him a year. I don't think you'd be paying him too much. He wouldn't take much out of your salary cap. You could offer him a year with an incentive if he plays a certain amount of games. I wouldn't be opposed to having him as a part of the squad.
Yeah, definitely. Especially with like the lack of small forwards we have right now. Like, we don't have many. So you brought up salary cap. I actually want to talk about another player. TDK. I don't know, man. He looks so off it. Like, he got bullied by a 32-year-old like Wits. Like, what's going on there?
I mean, I think Wits is very underrated.
Okay,
I
but
think
TDK is $1 million player, right? That's what we offered him.
Yeah. No, listen, I agree. I don't think Tom. Oh, I think he played better than what he has, but I think he was beaten by Wits tonight. Clearly, can't be throwing around $1 million contracts. That's what I think.
Yeah, no, 100%. But like, if he doesn't take the Sakilda deal, that means he's going to take that $1 million offer, like, and for 7 years. So why are we even offering that much? Can we like take that offer away? Is that a thing? Because I'm not sure. Can we like be like, actually, we changed our minds. We don't want to offer you that much anymore.
Sure. Well, yeah. I mean, he's the one that's got to make the decision because we will offer him whatever we offer him. Other clubs will offer whatever they're going to offer. St Kilda potentially. I mean, apparently there's this $1.7, $1.8 million deal that's going to be coming his way. This offer. I don't know. I think we need. I mean, I'm keeping it all a little bit more fluid. I'm keeping the door a bit more open. There's a lot more to play out, I think.
Yeah. Personally, I don't want him at the club. That's just me. I don't think, like, if you look at, I saw an interesting stat today. Like, our midfield has better possession numbers and they use the ball better when Pittenet's our ruck, when he's the main ruck.
Yeah.
That's a fact. Like, they have higher clearance numbers, they have higher disposal numbers, they use the ball better. Pittenet is a better tap ruckman. He has more hit outs to advantage. So I'm pretty sure he has more clearances as well. So I get the advantages of having someone like Tom, and I feel like we can't take for granted what it's like having an agile ruckman, one that can actually, jump and get possessions as well, because he gets like 15, 20 possessions. But I just don't think it's the right fit for our system right now, the way we play. But again, with Voss saying he might change up the game plan next year, maybe it's a good fit. But personally, I don't know. Sorry, go on.
I was going to say, wouldn't mind having a fit and healthy Sam Walsh in this team, in this midfield for a whole year. That'd be nice.
Yeah, that'd be nice. It'd be nice having Jago running through the midfield. Again, I know he's never played an AFL game, but should be pretty good. I don't know. Well, like, I had a real issue with that game because, like, I don't know how to feel about the club anymore. I don't know how to feel because, like, we've come to terms that we're not a good club, right? We're just not right now. So I'm watching the game. I'm watching us play great footy, like 2023 type footy, right? That's what it was in that fourth quarter. We're winning everything. We were getting the hard ball. We were running, spreading. And I was getting happy, but then I got upset because, like, if we were a good team, we wouldn't be down by 45 at third quarter time. But I'm like, we're not a good team. So I don't know how to feel about that. I don't know how to feel about, like, how much did we lose by in the end? 20 points?
19.
19. So I don't know how to feel about that game. I don't know if I should be walking away, taking the positives, being like, okay, played good footy, played 2 good 4 quarters. Frankie Evans had a great game. Some of my kids were good. Or if I should be upset and being like, nah, we're still down by 45.
That's where I'm at. Honestly, when I got home, I was confused because, okay, well done. You fought it out. You didn't disgrace the monogram, like, fantastic. But you let a team get 48 points ahead. Like, that's awful.
Yeah.
And now I look at it because it's a 19-point margin. I look at it and I say, oh, well, missed opportunities. But then, as some people were saying earlier, I mean, the Suns also had missed opportunities. They kicked 15 behinds.
Yeah.
It is weird. I'm with you. I do find it difficult at times to know how to think about things. End of the day, we lost. So that's disappointing.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Again, it's like end of season. We can't make finals. We haven't been in a position like this since 2021, pretty much. So,
yeah,
like, where we know the season's over, like 5-6 rounds before the season. You know what I mean? Before it ends.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I just try to take positives from it because, again, I can be a grumpy cunt and be like, we're bad, whatever. TDK is not worth whatever he's worth. Harry, I actually really liked Harry. I liked his game. Early on, I feel like he works himself into games really well. I think he starts slow. And as the game goes on, he really he's a good competitor. Like I rate him. I rate him a lot more than Kermit.
Do you know what I've noticed with Harry? So if he gets his first 1 or 2 contests and he wins them, he's on.
Yeah.
If he loses them, he can drop in confidence a bit. He takes a little longer to get back into the game. So tonight, I think he lost his first 1-on-1 contest with. Might have been Sam Collins, but then he had the shot on goal, kicked the goal. And then from there, I wasn't worried about Harry as much. I thought, all right, the monkey's off the back, so to speak. He's in the game. Yeah.
He was also pretty much our only toll down there for most of the game, right? Like, I know Keith went down there, but he was pretty much our main target. And he was like at times he was 4-on-1, right? And he's behind the ball. And I felt like he worked really hard to bring it down to ground to make sure he's not getting outmarked. So, I mean, I really think it's him and Frankie Evans. Those are the 2 biggest takeaways from this game because he kicked 3, I think, yeah? Mackay.
Frankie Evans, bro. Oh, Mackay kicked 3. Frankie Evans kicked 4 straight.
Yeah, Frankie, bro. Oh, my God. I was losing my mind. I don't know. I'm pretty sure I sat near you. I don't know if you lost me. I was screaming, this is the Frankie Evans show. Bro, I'm going to get 44 on my jersey. I'm going to buy a new jersey and get 44 on it. Like, generational talent. I can't believe I saw that. And he was like, again, it was important moments. Like, it wasn't just garbage time goals. Like, when we lose games and a player will kick 3 or 4 and it's like, whatever. These were important goals. We were in the game.
Mate, we'll be glazing him on Monday, Pommy and I. I can't wait.
Oh, I love Pommy so much. Shout out, Pommy. But,
shout out, Pommy. Pommy's in the chat.
Is he? Pommy, I love you. Pommy, real shit. Actually, we lost. I'm homeless. Pommy, I need a room. We're going to crash. Real shit. Pommy, I'm coming to your house.
Amazing.
Weedering's been pretty off it as well. I don't know if you've noticed. This entire year, he's...
For sure, something's up with him.
Yeah. Do you think it's a physical thing, or do you think it's just he doesn't trust his teammates?
I think it's got something to do with. I mean, Newman hasn't been there all year, sure, but then he found Silvani, and they work really well together. And then he sort of lost Silvani, and I actually thought he and O'Farrell worked together okay as well. He and Lewis Young. They just don't. They don't click on the
they
field.
don't.
That's my guess. They don't click.
Yeah, no, that's what I see. Because as soon as Lewis Young enters that back line, Wiedering is like shook, like he's not himself. Like I can see him. I was watching him behind the ball. He's trying to guard two players at once. Like he's literally sitting in between the middle of King and whoever Lewis Young's man was.
Yeah.
So it's like it's literally he doesn't trust his teammates. He's trying to get to every contest. And Ben King obviously he kicks six on Wiedering.
Mm-hmm.
Who the fuck kicks six on Jacob Wiedering? Like that's not a normal thing.
That's a Nick Larkey job 2021.
Shout out Marnie, Kanga TV show. She brings that game up. I hate it so much. But yeah, he looks sure. It's a conference thing. I don't like Lewis Young in the back line either, to be honest. I don't know why we didn't play him forward.
Well, I think so. What did they play tonight? So Harry with O'Keefe. And De Koning.
Yep.
And then Moya and then the Smalls.
I don't like De Koning going forward either. I think he's a shit forward.
Yeah.
Like he just doesn't have that dog in him. He doesn't compete. Like unless you kick it straight to him, he doesn't crash packs. He doesn't punch the ball down. It's like I don't know. I don't like De Koning. Like that's my personal opinion. I don't like him as a player. I don't think he's worth 700k instead, like regardless of $1 million. But
yeah, I do think we've got to stop giving premiership salaries to players that haven't even won finals yet.
Yeah, again, I know it's because of his age, and he is pretty good, right? Like he has had good form. Not recently, but start of the season he's showed games, and he's only 24, 25.
De Koning?
Yeah. So like by every chance, like he can be $1 million player. I'm not saying he can't. I'm just saying he's not right now.
Yeah, he's 26.
He's 26, right? So he's not in his prime, right? He'll probably hit his prime, 28, 29? Like, again, he could be $1 million player, but why are we offering $1 million contracts based on potential, right? Like, we did that with Zach Williams. Based off one game, we gave him $850 a year for 6 years. Based off one finals game in the midfield. We're like, that's it. He's gonna be the key to our premiership. Mitch McGovern, we paid him $900,000 a year, or however much. Right? He's gonna be our next key forward. He's gonna help out Charlie and Harry. The guy, all these players don't even play in the position that we drafted, that we got him for.
Yeah. Hey, did you see the doc? I thought he was going to be in the back of a car doing a lap.
I was so disappointed he didn't do a lap because I ran to the boundary. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna high five Doc, and he just stopped.
That whole thing was, in my view, weird.
Yeah, weird.
He rolled up, did a little interview, and then all right, he's gonna do a lap of Marvel, and then he just never did. I don't know. I don't know
why he didn't retire this game. Because it's our home game. Why did he retire on a random Thursday night against Hawthorn? That wasn't our home game.
I think doing it with Wiedering, I personally, my view is I'm glad he did it in that game. I think it needed to be done ASAP because I didn't want. I mean, for example, we're starting to see Cooper Lord now, more midfield time, more players going through there as well. For everyone, I think it was for the better of the club. I think it was good. That's my view, but I get it. Do it in a home game. I also get your point.
Yeah. Look, I mean, in my opinion, he should have retired at the start of this year. Right?
Yeah.
Straight away, he just didn't seem like he was up to speed. But we've played him 19, 20 rounds. What's another one round, right? We could have given him a proper send-off, but we just didn't. I don't know. I find that really odd. And again, it takes away from Wiedering's 200th game. Again, that wasn't, or 250th. That wasn't the focus of that game. No one really gave a shit. It was about Doc's retirement. And I think Wiedering deserves an entire PR week of the social media glazing him and whatever, which didn't really happen.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. Seems pretty odd. Yeah. What are you going to do? Carlton 2026 will be there. Voss Bowl. I'm sorry. Hey, Graham Wright, he got his first stone on his glove. Keeping Voss.
True.
The gauntlet. What do you think about that?
I think Graham Wright had more than enough time to make a decision. And I think what it tells me is that he has identified problems that are more serious than the coach that he wants to get to before sacking a coach. And I back him in to know more about what to do than what I know personally.
100%. Yeah, 100%. Like I have
You
my
know,
own
you know what I
opinion.
heard today? I had conversations with people at the footy, and then a few people are saying, "Oh, but did he really make the decision?" And I'm like, "Yes, he did." And I was like, "Oh, but the soft cap." I was like, we're fucked. We're never gonna be on the same page."
Yeah, I find it funny. Like at the start of the year, people are like, "Oh, he's gonna save the club." He's gonna snap his fingers. Half the club's gonna be gone. We're gonna back him. And now he made a decision. I was like, "Nah, it's not the one we wanted." Like, it's like I don't know. I don't even have an opinion. I was on the fence, right? I was like, okay, well, if he keeps him, he keeps him. If he doesn't, he doesn't. I don't care. He knows more than I do, right? As long as changes do be made, I don't care. So when he kept Voss, I was like, all right, he's keeping him. Oh well, but people were losing their minds.
Do you
feel like, nah? People are like, fuck, we're finished.
Do you think this puts pressure on the players now for the first time?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because he wrote he wrote like a great recommendation, like a letter recommendation for Voss. So if he's saying the head coach is not the problem, again, the coaching staff could be the problem, but so it'll be on the players, right? They don't. They'd be like, yeah,
Bit of everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know what he's going to recommend. What I don't know is, did he give his recommendations in this 5-hour board meeting, or has he got more recommendations to come? Like, I don't know what the details are.
That 5 hour, there's no way they spend 5 hours talking about Voss, right? They must have talked about other things as well.
Of course. Anyone who says that they only talked about Voss is just making things up.
Yeah, because what can you say for 5 hours about Voss? I think that's like a 1 hour conversation max, right?
No,
and I think
his whole findings would have been presented about the club. So coach, department, list management, strategy moving forward. Like, I think, yeah.
Was that like an emergency board meeting, or do they have one? Is that like a regular thing? They always have one for like 5 hours.
Scheduled board meeting.
Okay, so the
I don't know
media was
why.
just like-
I don't know how long board meetings usually go for, but this one went for 5 hours because there was media coverage around it. But I'm pretty sure Graham Wright presented his findings about everything in this meeting.
Yeah. No, that makes sense. The media were dragging it. The media were like, "Oh, he left office." Like, bro, he left work. What do you want him to do? Not leave?
Oh yeah, I love that Voss said it in his presser. He's like, "Yeah, man leaves work. Man gets coffee."
I haven't watched a presser properly since like round 3, and I watched that one and I loved it. I was like, "Fuck, he's giving it to the reporters." He's like, that clip where he's like, "I've answered the same question about 5 times now." Fuck, bro, we need more stuff like that.
Yeah.
Why can't we be a cunt of a club? Like Craig McRae. He's coming out. He's like, "Oh, I went on a date with Jack Silvani." Why can't we be like that?
Well, look where it got him.
Everyone. Yeah, that's karma. Fuck Collingwood. That's karma. But yeah. Anyways, look, it's great talking to you like always.
You too, man.
Yes, I'll catch you around.
Speak to you soon. See ya.
See ya. Bye.
All right. I've got Mark and Lewis. Mark, are you around? You look like you're in a dark place. All right, maybe I'll get Lewis. We'll go Lewis and then Mark. Lewis.
How you going, Des?
Good, mate. We're 2.5 hours in. You know what that means?
What?
It's about to get real funny in here. Now it gets.
Hey, you know what? It's gonna get real funny in here. We got a letter.
You wrote that? Go on. Let me have it.
All right. So, this is about the game, what I think about Voss, what I think about everything.
Go on.
So the game had different emotions. We're happy with the fourth quarter. Sad about the second and third. First was okay, but still just many inconsistencies in our game with the phases, with the players not being right psychologically throughout the fourth quarters. And yeah, I think what made the fourth quarter really probably memorable is that it was like the old Carlton with the fans going nuts when we were kicking goals and it was like we were playing the old Carlton brand of the way we knew where we played with, pressure around the ball, hard contested possession, and, just getting those forward intercept turnovers inside forward 50. I was very impressed with Cooper Lord, Moya, Keith, and, I know he didn't play, but I want to say this. Harry O'Farrell, he's been such a great young emerging players. They've been really good, and many more youngsters are developing. I'm looking forward to. Like in the VFL, I know he's not playing, but I really like seeing Harry Lemmy developing, and I feel like he's probably going to be a really good player next season. Hopefully, we can see him burst through next season in the AFL. There are also positive that we get players coming back. I mean, not only for next week like Sam Welsh, but you also for next year get Jagger Smith, Charlie Cano, Nick Newman, and you also get to see what they can add to this side. I love Cripps, Hewett, Mackay, and of course Francis Evans. I think it was absolutely sensational. I put my hand up saying I'm sorry for what I said about him after all this time saying he's the worst player. I wish he gets delisted. No, I put my hand up saying I'm sorry. You have really proved me wrong. Now, when it comes to Voss, I'm not mad at it. He has had one bad year. And yeah, 2024, he kind of slipped. But seeing him on the phone, on TV, he was barking instructions and orders. And that's what you want as a coach. Like, I'd rather him I'd rather hear him bark orders, go on the phone, telling what he wants, than David Teague in 2021, not pick up the phone. Well, Port Adelaide were kicking 19 goals in a row and doing nothing. That's what I would rather want. Now, this is what I think. Graham White will make changes off season. There's no doubt in my mind. But I believe the reason he's keeping Voss is because he doesn't have the right assistants, like Zach has said. None of them have not won anything as coaches. Ash Hansen, yeah, he's a tactician, but when you look at it, he went from a handballing attacking game to a kicking marking game, which is not in the modern game. You see the modern game as like attacking a corridor, taking risks, playing with dare, handballing through the middle. That way you can get the effective kick going inside forward 50. The midfield coach just feels like Tim Clark. I'm sorry, but the way the midfield is just set up, is just disorganized around the ball, and you just see Aaron Hamill's defensive structure is just like falling down, and we always have Wittering getting kicked with 6 goals on him, where he has to try and defend whether he goes for long or does go stay back for King, which is like it's too hard for him. And then we need winners with like Voss to add stability and coaches that understand the modern game or what is required. Because I feel like Voss is a great communicator, but he needs tacticians and the right people that can help the players understand what is required in the game. And, I feel like you will help him develop a great game plan next year. We need to trade some players, make harsh calls on the list. Some players are not up to standard, and, I'm not going to, say who. I'll just let Graham White do decisions, and whatever he does, I am more happy to back him. Remember, no matter what decisions he makes this off season, it's just the way he thinks is right, and we must understand it's what's good for the club.
Yep.
And yeah, that's all I'm going to say. Hope everyone has a good night and keep showing up to games because we are the voice of this club. And I'll see you next time.
Good stuff.
And I got one more thing. As you can see right here, I don't know if you can see it. Yeah, this is Carlton 026, and I got I don't know if this is autograph, but this is his signature. Frankie Evans' autograph is on the back of this. So, Blues, make it happen, Graham White. He deserves it.
Good on you. Thanks,
go.
Lewis. See you, mate. All right. Mark.
Yeah, I'll probably need about 5 minutes to basically find a parking spot. But I
All
was
right.
just wondering, are you able to maybe play the press up for 5 minutes?
Sure, I can do that. I'll call you back.
Yeah, do that.
I'll have a look at you in the waiting room and I'll get you back in.
Yeah.
All right. Let's absolutely get this presser in. Presser. Where is the presser? How will we do this? How are we going to do this? Let me try something. Has anybody listened to the presser? Like, is it worth it? Okay. It's here, but I don't want to... What I'm trying to do is, if I go there... Wait.
Oh, I think we're building a little bit of that energy through the third quarter. Outside of the first 5-6 minutes of the third quarter, you have 3 goals kicked against you in the first part. You've been forgiven for sort of saying that's enough. But gradually, sort of over the course of that quarter, we started to, find the way we wanted to be able to play. We owned the ball a little bit more, got a bit more territory, got a bit better field position. But it was just such a supply question at the start. I mean, we were up against it for supply. They were dominating clearances. They were getting midfield turnovers. So we were sort of really playing everything from our back half and not doing it as well as what we normally would. So that's credit to Gold Coast and the way that they played. But to come out after half time and make those subtle adjustments and for the players to sort of embrace the way we wanted to play that second half. And, I guess eventually the sort of momentum started to fall our way. And then, that's what ends up carrying you. The momentum ends up carrying you. So little bits and pieces. It was throughout the game, but, clearly finishing off the quarter, never give up attitude. I think that's been a real trademark of ours over the last couple of weeks is we're seeing the season out strong. It's what Sis said we'd do. I'm really pleased the players have bought into it. There's good energy in the locker room, and we'll see out the season as strong as we can.
You take some confidence out of that last quarter into the last 2 games of the season, and then obviously into next season as well.
Yeah, it can, because every time you get to see the way you want to play and the guys getting confidence off that and the energy in behind it. I mean, finishing off the game the way we did too, it was just nice to feel the energy of that stadium. And, I guess that small almost moment of hope, or those few moments of hope that we were coming pretty fast. Still plenty of time on the clock. But, like as most games do, they come down to moments and they take a couple of theirs and we didn't take a couple of ours. And that's what ends up being the margin in the end.
Francis Evans obviously had taken the scenic route to get to where he is in his AFL career, but to put on a performance like that against a pretty quality team must have been rapid.
Yeah, his last 6 weeks, because I include, I guess his form in the VFL as well before he broke through. He's bounced out of the bye really well, looking like he's playing with really high energy, some class, some good finish, some smarts. It's a hard role, that half-forward role. At times you don't get a lot of reward, but he's found a really good balance in his game. So pleased with what he's been able to do. And we saw some individuals tonight that were pretty good as well, like seeing Harry the last couple of weeks he's been steadily building as well. I thought he was really impressive tonight. Gave a great presence, jumped at the ball, should have got more free kicks than what he did. Don't know how we missed those particular moments, but he just kept showing up. And so that was great to see. Ollie Hollands, the role he provided. He's still got some things he needs to work in his game, but he's given us great bounce off half back. And from the beginning of the year, it was something we weren't sure whether we'd find out the whole entire year where we'd go with it and whether he'd end up back on the wing, but we've persisted with that. Cooper Lord had a role in Anderson today, did a great job. He had 12 tackles. He's impacted himself. He's had score involvements. He was against a very, very good player who's leading a lot of things at the moment when it comes to awards. So there's those little things within the game that where we had some wins. We had some wins, but clearly we don't walk away with 4 points. But there's some other things that we can take away from the game.
Just on Lords for a young player, was a performance like that do for his confidence going forward?
Very mature young man. There's not a person that's not impressed by his attitude. There's also no one that works harder on his game. He's under the armpit of Cripper and Walsh and Chera, and he doesn't leave him alone because he's just got that appetite to be curious. And every time I talk to him, he's just enormously grateful for the opportunity he gets. So I just asked him, just please never lose that. Throughout your whole career, as it becomes more serious for you, just don't lose those attributes because it's just such a great attribute to be able to have. So it's a pleasure to coach him, that young man. And as a result, he'll get the most out of his career. But he's taken on these 2 challenges, and I guess the challenges have been thrown to him for him to be able to learn more about his game, and hopefully he can finish off the year that way as well.
You just spoke about some individual highlights there. Team-wise progression, you wanted to see progression yesterday. What team-wise progressed tonight, do you think?
I thought I think our contest around just the pressure we've been able to build on the opposition over the last couple of weeks has been very good. We finished with a 2.01. The last quarter they were 2.07. So the game was on. So we've been able to get a lot more pressure on the ball than what we have for the last little while, and it's put us in better positions on the ground, more powerful positions to be able to launch from. And so that's been a really pleasing part of our game. Clearly, obviously, we're still in that phase where we're not hitting the scoreboard enough, and that's something we're just going to have to, obviously spend a pre-season making sure that we impact it a little bit more than what we are now.
You mentioned the umpiring just then. I know it's obviously a hard job, but just generally, what do you think the state of the umpiring just in general?
No, I don't think that's I don't have an issue at all with the state of umpiring, and far from me to have an opinion on just how hard that job is. They've got a really difficult job. And we'll always sort of sometimes feel like the rub of the green's not necessarily going your way. I felt like there was a couple that we didn't get today, so we'll follow it up. I mean, we've got no problem being able to follow up, and we've got no problem with the correspondence we get back. But there's just a few there today that we'll have to go back and have a look. The free kicks around stoppage, we're probably there. I haven't looked at it close enough, but obviously that's a part of the game that gave them territory in the game, and that made it really hard to be able to build the game out of our back half from there. So, as I said, I sort of felt like there was some tools there we could have got a little bit better look at that we didn't. But again, we'll go look at that and go through the right channels and have that discussion where we need to.
Your defenders like to play a certain position, as they call it, playing in front. Do you have to give them a G up or a pat on the back when, unfortunately, sometimes that becomes a step ladder like Phil's did at one point tonight?
Yeah, no one likes that, but it was a pretty impressive mark, wasn't it? So it was a pretty good mark. I wouldn't go say that to Youngie to his face, but no, it's as you said, like sometimes your method of defence. That's why we love to have pressure on the ball, and why we talk about system, and because we all need it, because we don't want moments like that. But it was an interesting game. It was hard fought early. I mean, we were fighting hard early. It was first half it was a bit we were muscling it a bit, and then as the game was going on, we sort of started to find our way through things, and there were some real highlights at the end, and as I highlighted, there's some real sort of big performances from a few people as well. He's pretty good. He's pretty good. I mean, Witch is a very good ruckman. And, we know that Tom's, his real strength is not just his ability to be able to impact in the air, but what he does on the floor. So, it's, again, we're talking about margins here. It was also an opportunity to be able to get Hudson O'Keefe into the team. He went out injured. We felt like he needed another game back in the VFL just to get his eye back in. It's a bit unfair to throw a young man back in after he's missed 5-6 weeks of injury and just expect that he's going to pick where he left off. So he was able to do that, played really well last week, deserved his spot up forward. You saw a couple of beautiful pack marks that he does, and he's going to split a few over his time because he's just tough and he competes, and you love playing with people like that. And, if he can get more shots on goal, then that's a real win for us as a second ruck. So, no, he's growing really well as well.
You had 7 players, I think, with fewer than 25 games. Is that where the energy
I think so, but there's also been, there's been some great energy in the locker room, and I reckon it's been great to be able to see our leaders getting behind that as well. And I guess you probably could be forgiven for the season can peter away and you get much out of it, but what our leaders have seen is an opportunity to be able to sort of give some time to these young guys and give exposure to these guys, and they deserve that opportunity. They've earned the right, and we need to get in behind them and support them. So we've seen some really good examples of that. Clearly, our depth of our list needs to get better. If you're talking about a bigger picture for just a second, our depth needs to get better, and we're going to see it through some of these guys. They'll take positions of older players, and that's when you're really progressing as a footy team. So we're going to invest the time in that. We've been investing it over the last few weeks and growing that out, but it takes a more particular focus over this last month.
You have to put your arm around Lockie a bit. You missed two pretty critical set shots, especially in the last quarter. Could have just given even more in the game.
Yeah, I do, and it's hard for a person to own all of that. That's but there is moments in games, and we share in that. That's not his sole responsibility. We all own the moment, and so I guess for his lesson is just keep backing in your process. Keep backing in what you do, and in those moments, we'll back you in, give you the confidence to be able to finish your plays, and that's what we've got to continue to do. But also got to minimise our errors, and sometimes there's a couple of concentration errors that we can have that let oppositions get that goal they shouldn't get, and we let a couple of those tonight. What I was pleased with, though, that even though I had a lot of shots, there was a lot of long shots. So having a lot of shots from probably on the 50-metre area, as my old coach sometimes says, there's sort of a lot of long shots, a lot of long behinds. So I felt like we took away their shot quality for most of the night, and they were just good enough to be able to, though when the game was tight, they were able to finish their moment. So credit to them.
This is obviously the first game since the announcement was made on Thursday. What was the energy like? I mean, now that the clarity has been given for next year at least, was there a good energy? Was there a difference?
That's a real hard one for me to answer. That's a genuinely intangible that I can't answer. Maybe in time we can look back and find out what that meant, but I'd really hope that we're building an environment that's somewhat consistent, and we understand there's always things that are going on around us, and there's always a conversation that's going on around us. But yeah, we've got to be mature enough as performers to be able to know what to listen to and what not to. And so I guess what we are trying to do is normalise that and keep it as consistent as we possibly can. And hopefully as a leader, we're turning up to be able to, and as a group of coaches, we're turning up to be there for our players and keep serving our club, and that remains consistent. And I think that's been that way. And to the players' credit, they're bringing energy. They're getting in behind our younger players, and so as a result, you don't get the season you're after, but you walk away with something, and you can walk away with small wins, and that's what we're determined to do.
Played out the game, obviously, and had a good last quarter, but how sore is the skipper after it looked like his shoulder was getting some grief in the first half?
I think he's okay. I mean, you saw the same vision that I saw, so I'll get a report based on that. But, before we activate our sub, I asked the medical teams whether they had any concerns, and no one had any concerns. So I'll sort of take that at face value for now.
Any other injury concerns?
No, Gav, no, I don't think so. No, I think we got through pretty clear. So, thank you. Cheers.
Interesting. Let's get your thoughts. We'll start with Mark.
All right. Well, there you go. Wasn't that something from Voss?
Yeah. Thoughts?
Very good. I guess now that it's been pretty much official that he obviously sees out this year. Well, I mean, still with a year in his contract, it was pretty much only a matter of time. But, hey, that's the thing, right? How many times have we seen in the past where a coach has been fully backed and we know what happens? So I think it was pretty imminent that with everybody was pretty convinced that he was gone. I was completely the opposite. And I'm glad that he's there. I mean, it's like in any other business or working environment, right? You need to be able to have a core group of people in order to get the success that you want to run in a business and let alone a sporting organisation. So, it was a very funny night, to be fair.
You can say that again.
Oh, yeah. I mean, to think that, 45 points at three-quarter time, and then I was with my dad and your friend as well, and funny enough, had some people just behind me thinking we couldn't do the second greatest comeback, considering St Kilda obviously did that to Melbourne at that very ground, or was it 2 weeks ago, and we're basically having a good laugh about it. But yeah, very funny that Frankie Evans obviously just teasing us all that one game is basically making up a season's contract. Look, good on him that he obviously had a good game. I'll give him that. But if we're obviously going to be that serious club, we can't just be fooled by tonight's effort, where we know exactly what he's obviously dished up throughout this year. Let's be brutally honest. Good on him. Good on him that he actually did very well tonight. Sure, but we can't just let that be the be all and end all. That we're just going to start warranting these contracts. What's to say that McGovern, if he did play tonight, or I know he didn't, but let's say if he gets up next week or the week after, and then he has 2 blinder of a games, we're going to keep holding on to these players. We have to make the cut. We got to make important decisions this off season, and obviously,
I think just with that, I think more importantly, if we're going to get rid of any players, we've got to try and find players to replace them with who are going to be better. Maybe not straight away, but you've got to get them right.
Well, I mean, it's interesting that you had Ken Hinkley's name being thrown around as well. I mean, obviously, Voss was an assistant to him. Maybe the bit of the roles reverse in order to obviously try and elevate Voss's position to obviously really hopefully take more control, but get more better ideas from experienced senior coaches from, other clubs. And I mean, you obviously had other mentions of Jimmy Bartel wanting to hopefully work with Graham Wright. Whether that does happen or not, I mean, that'd be great. And then ironically enough, if you do happen to get some of the names as I've mentioned, well, you got to think before Ken obviously was in the Port Adelaide job, he was an assistant for Geelong from the years 04 to 09, where, he was obviously under the players of Bartel and your Selwoods and co. So bit of interesting synergy right there if you're obviously wanting to put those other pieces together, in case for those that probably didn't know, or some probably do, but maybe for those that didn't, it's almost a little full circle moment potentially, hopefully in time when we obviously get through that process. But I think it's just important that with 2 more games to go, we obviously try and, hopefully we can win both. I mean, Port Adelaide nearly almost upset at Fremantle tonight in a very bizarre game there as well. They went from literally kicking none at quarter time to them kicking 8 in the second. And then you saw tonight where was that last quarter against Fremantle from last week with tonight's game? Probably would have taken a beating tonight, but beat Freo in a weird way. But that's just the cycle that we're in at the moment. And I'm glad that Voss really mentioned, he praised Cooper Lord in particular. I mean, I think I probably said it the other week as well. If you had a midfield with Cripps, Hewett, Walsh, I'd be putting Lord over Chera. And, people can agree to disagree, but I mean, the guy slowly be able to get 20 to 25 touches. I mean, he laid 12 tackles, I believe, tonight as well. So it's not just, offensively, but the defensive work as well. I mean,
where would you put Chera? Are you saying trade Chera and not play him, or are you saying are you saying to put Chera into another part of the ground, or are you saying get him, trade him, or try and do a deal and let Cooper Lord have those mid minutes instead?
I'd say we see if we can try and get some value for Chera.
Yeah, because I mean they're going to want to play Jagger, I'm guessing, eventually through the midfield. Maybe not full time next year, but eventually. So
Well, I mean, aren't Jagger Smith and Cooper Lord very good mates? And I just think to myself, if you can start getting the mateship slowly inside the club, you can then generate the next core coming in to actually really have what it takes to bleed blue. So I think that's just the thing as well. Like, when you know you've got a group, especially for those sides that are obviously on the top end of the ladder, you got to have that mateship through the good and the bad. And I feel like when you've really got that, you are able to really stick fat, which, I mean, it's funny how that word's been used loosely, but I think you get the drift. We're just needing more of a contingency synergy in this group that can obviously get us back to where we need to be. So, yeah, hopefully some changes of assistance. Funny enough, it was actually even announced that John Longmire Horse himself doesn't even want to be back in the senior coaching job. But of course, if there is obviously head of coaching or even an assistant, he can still obviously be slightly behind the scenes. But if it comes to, let's say, helping a Voss, look, there's going to be so many other names as well, not just the ones that I've obviously just mentioned. I know that's pretty cliche, but I mean, then again, when you get current, recent experience ones to obviously help a guy who's second chance, had 4 or 5 years at Brisbane, about to have 5 years with us. Hopefully we do get a clean run of health because that is going to be important. But at the end of the day, the wins and losses will obviously matter. So I do believe if we do at least get our last 2, you'll at least go into next year knowing that he's at a 50-plus win-loss record, which, yeah, it helps.
Yep.
But of course, at the same time, it's going to be very key of how we get through these next 6-7 months because we have to be very proactive rather than reactive. If anything, this offseason, we must be the number 1 proactive club in this offseason. Just has to be. Whether it's whether it's the major delistings that need to happen, the trades, time will only tell. But,
have you had a chance to look at any of the uncontracted players that would be on the market?
You mean the listings first or ones that you want to probably trade out?
I'm saying, have you had a look at the list of uncontracted players from every other club? Have you done that research? Have you looked to research that?
To be fair, To be fair, I have not done that yet. I think we probably need a full scale into that before we can then get proper clarity, to be fair. So, honestly, we need to probably have a good rundown to see who's actually uncontracted and who is, just to refresh my memory, to be fair.
There's I'll send it to you. I saw an article in the paper in the Age. I think it was the Age. I reckon it might have been 2 days ago, and it was every club and a list of the players who are out of contract at the end of the year. I thought it was interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll need a layout. I'll definitely need a layout, and then probably get a thorough, proper look, rather than having to guess it out as much as I'd like to.
No, fair. Sure. Mate, thank you very much. Well said. Good chat, and go Blues.
Next week, hoping to be 34. So let's make sure that birthday streak can continue. I know throughout the years it's probably more wins than losses. Let's knock out the power.
Good stuff.
Our
See you,
power.
Mark.
Hey, mate.
Good stuff, mate. Kez.
Hi.
Hello.
First time caller.
Wow, look at that. At 1:38 in the morning. Love it.
Yeah, well, that was an interesting last quarter, wasn't it? Wasn't expecting it. Was pleased to watch it. But, yeah. I don't think we would have come over the top of him had Fogarty not missed that shot. But, yeah, still annoyed that he had to do one of those sideway kicks. I don't understand them. You're 20 metres in front of goal. Why don't you just kick a normal kick?
Yeah.
So
they're good enough. I mean, he's good enough. It's bizarre.
Definitely. So very, very frustrating. But and good old Frankie Evans. Hand up also was lamenting his please get rid of him earlier in the season. Why is he playing? Same as we were doing with Fantasia and Motlop and Co. But yeah, I don't know whether Maynard's sort of getting the knock to the head's done something to him. But yeah, my husband and I noticed tonight and last week that he seems to not put his own safety before going for the ball. That we noticed a couple of times last week and again tonight that yeah, he's just all in. There's no concern for his own safety. So yeah, so good on him. He's
Hey, that's
found
all
his
you can ask
AFL
for.
feet.
That's all you can ask for. Tough,
Yep.
competitive beasts playing.
Yeah.
Those
So
who have
obviously he's found his feet at AFL level. So hopefully he keeps continuing from here.
What did you
So,
make of the Vossi news throughout the week?
our household was hoping he was staying, just for some stability. So happy to see him stay. Would be thinking that some of the assistant coaches need to be moved on. We used to actually sponsor Jordan Russell when he first joined the Blues
Wow.
many years ago. So I do know Jordan, but yeah, I not tried and true player in that position, hasn't won premierships, wasn't a well-known A-level player or anything like that, so not quite sure whether it's what he's done in his training university or what have you that sort of got him that role. But yeah, I think we need to find someone that's got a bit of premiership credence behind them, that can actually, give experience.
I'm with you
Yeah.
on that. I would love to
Yeah.
see a group, 3 or 4 senior, experienced colleagues
Yep.
in that department, in that coaching group, whether they're
Yep.
former coaches, someone like a Ken Hinckley. Not to say that Ken would become head coach, but even football director if you wanted to move into that kind of role. Senior, experienced minds.
Yeah.
You can challenge Vossi when he needs to be challenged, and
Yeah.
people that he can trust.
Yeah, because at the moment, and again, I mean, we loved Aaron Hamill when he was playing for the Blues. Tenacity, always 110% at the ball. On the forward line, was a bit surprised when he ended up doing the backline coach. I suppose it's been hard for the backline because they keep losing players and haven't got the consistency of players playing together. So a little bit hard to judge the job being done there. But yeah, the mids and forward line definitely need to have fresh blood looking over them.
Yeah.
So yeah, and I think the future's looking good. We've got seem to have a good group of young ones coming through. So yeah, as they grow together, band together, and get the camaraderie and what have you. Hopefully, in the next couple of years, we have a good group of them coming through and see some success.
Back to the well, go again. Hope for better days next year.
Yep.
Love it.
All right, Tess, I'll leave you to
Yes.
it. Lovely to
Thank
chat
you very
up.
much. Thanks so much for calling in.
Have a good night.
You
or
too.
morning.
Yeah. Bye. It was lovely. Thanks, Kez. There's a few more videos here on the Carlton website that we can watch. We can firstly watch. We can watch George Hewett's 200 game presentation. I reckon we can watch this one. There's the Prez. Newman in the background. Is that Lewis? Yeah.
200 AFL games, fantastic achievement. We're very, very happy that the last 80 of those have been in the navy blue jumper. So well done, mate. Drafted in 2013 to the Swans. Played your first game, I think, in 2016, round 1, and played in the grand final in that first year. right throughout his career with the 200 games, just amazing and super competitor, reliable, consistent, tough, no fuss, and clearly team first approach to everything. So that's why those traits, why you're so popular with your teammates and also with our fans. So well done, mate. A great career so far, and 200 games in the milestone thoroughly deserved. So well done. Pity that your partner and son couldn't be here tonight. I think they're flying back from the UK. So good luck with the sleep with a young jet-lagged son. It'll be good in the next few days. But great that your family's here, Dad, Mum, brothers, nephew. So congratulations on behalf of everybody. I'm sure they're very proud of everything you've done. As a club, we're super proud of what you're achieving. So congratulations, mate. And a very
good to say thanks to my family, friends for making it over. So we couldn't get it done, but I think we're not far off, boys. So we just keep cracking in, keep training hard, and we'll get there. We've got 2 more games, so 2 more wins for us. Let's go.
Two more games, 2 more wins for us. Fucking love that, George. Absolutely love that. Let me share this one. Big fan.
Georgie, 200 games down, mate. Obviously not the result we wanted, but how was that personal milestone for you tonight, having your family in the rooms?
Yeah, it was mixed feelings, I guess. It was, it's always tough to have a loss, but I think we battled hard in the end, and we felt like we'll come. The margin was probably just a little bit too big. All they probably needed to do was kick 1 goal, which they did late, and it just snuffed out our chance. But it's been a nice week for me, I guess. A lot of nice messages and stuff from a lot of people, so that's been nice.
I was saying before, I think we've done more media this week with you than we've ever done. You're not the one that really enjoys the camera time, but how have you found having a bit of attention this week?
It's been all right. You get surprised by the people you hear from, which is nice. And when you're in it, you don't really realise that it's a good achievement, but because you're so focused. So maybe at the end of the year, you can look back and enjoy it a bit more.
How proud are you of reaching the double century?
Oh yeah, proud enough, I guess. Still feel like there's a lot more to go, a lot more for us to achieve. So still feel like there's a lot of good footy ahead of us as well.
In terms of your footy this year, mate, career best year is obviously been news for you. What do you think's worked so well, and how proud are you of the performances you've shown this year?
Yeah, I got to work in the off season with a few things, and I just found myself. I was really confident with the work I put in, and and I just love. I think it's a year that I really just tried to look at footy as like when I played as an 8-year-old kid. I just feel like I've really, really loved playing footy this year and training. So I think that helps. So just really loving the game.
In terms of tonight, mate, obviously didn't get the result we wanted, but that last quarter was pretty electric in Marvel Stadium. What do you think worked so well, and how much of the positives can we take from that going forward?
Yeah, it just felt like when we got it forward on the floor, young forwards especially, just looked so dangerous. Frankie Evans, Ashton, Motts, it just looked very, very exciting. Once we got on the floor, we looked like we were going to score every time we sort of got it in there. But we just couldn't quite get it done. It was good last quarter.
Having so many young players in there as well, obviously one of the older states of the team now. I don't think that's news to you, but how much excitement has that brought throughout the group?
Yeah, it was very exciting because it didn't go away for the first 3 quarters. And I think it just shows us groups, we've still got a lot to work on, but it feels like, us group believes and we work hard and we're pretty close. So we've got something there. We just need to keep believing in ourselves and have more consistent 4 quarters, and we'll be all right.
One of those young guys was Cooper Law, someone that you've worked with so closely over the last 12 to 18 or so months. Probably one of his best games.
Yeah.
How stoked for you to see that from him.
Yeah, he's had a good couple of weeks. Coop played on Noah Anderson, where he's an absolute star of the game, really, like very well respected across the AFL. And Coop did a really good job. Found his own ball and sort of nullified Anderson, which is it's a great effort. And he was one of the reasons why it helped get us back in the game in the last quarter.
2 games to go now in the season. What's the team trying to get out of it? What was Voss's message post-match?
Yeah, we'll just look very short term to next week and try and give ourselves the best effort and chance to get a good result against Port Adelaide. play our footy, and I think in 5 days' time we play our next game. So it's coming quick, unfortunately, the end of the season. No one likes getting to the end of the season, but still 2 more games to play some strong footy.
You're looking forward to no media for game 201?
Yeah, that'd be nice. No, it's all right.
Thoughts? Anybody else love George Hewett? I absolutely love George Hewett and the way he goes about it. Like, seriously. Yeah, you have to. I used to go and show I used to show this photo of Hector Bellerin when I used to get the fades back in the day. Hello, Costas. Good to see you here, mate. Rocco, they shouldn't be playing sport at professional level if they need a milestone to get up. Yeah. Yeah, Pommy, I'm with you. How about every game being for 4 points and that being the milestone? I don't know. Anyway. I reckon that's us. I reckon we call it a night. It is 1:51 a.m. on Sunday morning. And the Blues got done by 19 points. But gee, it looked like a 10-goal belting for the majority of that game. 11 goals, 874 to 13 goals, 15, 93. Still don't know how to feel about that game. I'm disappointed. Like, I left disgusted at the game, but there was some spirit and some fight. So, like, okay. But I still left. Yeah, Sonia, it was 20 minutes of solid football. Plus maybe it was actually 30 minutes of solid football in my view. So not good enough. Yeah, Webby, I'm with you, mate. We didn't win. Tell me, how do we feel about the game? You figured it out. First 20 and last 20. Yeah, okay. Fair. I actually thought the first 10 of the first were good, and then we fell away. And then it was entirely on Gold Coast terms for the entire game until 3/4 time. So anyway, whatever. Exactly. We're shit. We're no good. We're looking for positives because we've exhausted the negatives. I think that's what's happened. Anyway, guys, I'll see you tomorrow. Get the review out. And then we'll do the ratings, Blue Abroad show, Almost Blues Brothers. I'm pretty sure we'll be on tomorrow night. And then we'll roll into it. 2 more to go. 2 more games to go. 2 more fan cam sessions to go. And then we get to silly season and away we go. Have a good one, ladies and gents. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for those of you who called, and thanks for those of you who just tuned in, got amongst it. Appreciate your support as always. See you tomorrow. Go Blues.